What is up, New York Jets fans? In the tri-state area, around the world. Gangrene, baby. We got a lot to talk about tonight, and I am late tonight, so everything's kind of pushed back about 10 minutes because, I have stories for you if you want them, and I have no problem giving them to you right after this Jets song ends with Go, 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 Jets, fight, and the Jets chant. Jets. All right. Folks, today was a busy day. We have a lot to talk about here on the Midnight Mike Show. I am Midnight Mike, your late night New York Jets host. I'm sorry I'm frazzled tonight, but I was literally, it was just a disaster trying to get this show. I was so busy all day, but here we are. We're going to have fun. We're going to talk about the NFL this week. And of course, we're going to talk about the New York Jets traveling to Pittsburgh, Sunday Night Football. And look, I've been picking the Jets every week. And I think this is about the time where I have to kind of put my Jets goggles away and kind of start facing the hard reality that the Jets may not be the team that we expect them to be. But there was a new hope. There was a new hope, ladies and gentlemen. The Jets signed number 17, Davante Adams, taking his number from our second round pick, Malachi Corley. Gave him something. I don't know what he gave him. Probably treated him to a nice steak dinner, said, "Hey, bro, I'm Davante Adams. I'm going to need that number." And Malachi Corley was like, "Well, I've been in healthy scratch, inactive. So, okay, here you go, brother." That's how it is. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the NFL. We usually give our picks, but because I came in late, I had almost no time to prepare for this episode. I'm going to have to go online when me and Maddie make our picks and figure that out. Usually I have them written down in front of me, circled and everything, but I'm going to have to pick them on the fly tonight. Now, you may be wondering why I'm dressed like this. No, usually I'm wearing a black t-shirt or a Jets jersey, and it's because literally one of the things we did tonight is my kids' school had what they call the Monster Mash. Now, I want to get into this, not the Monster Mash. We'll talk about that quickly. But I also want to see which one of you will show up. Every year I take the whole week of Halloween off. And I want to do something this year. Obviously we'll have a Halloween-themed Jets show. But I'm thinking, I want to do something where I can watch a movie and maybe have it on the screen behind me and you guys watch along. We start at the same time, something we can all hopefully watch. Hopefully everybody has Prime Video or something like that. And we can figure out something and do a few Halloween-centric shows, kind of go back in Midnight Mike history to when I used to review 80s and 90s, pop culture, horror, pro wrestling, things like that, and go back and just do a watch-along of a horror movie. I think that'd be fun. And like I said, I want to point out to you, we went to this Monster Mash thing, and the kids, of course, went as the Ninja Turtles. And I'm going to let you see this. I did put this up on Twitter. But here is me and my wife. Obviously, I was Casey Jones, and my wife was April O'Neil. So there's that picture right there. And yeah, that's us online. Online with all the kids. Obviously, we're not going to put the kids up here. We'll just show us. And I had the satchel on my back, the golf bag with the hockey sticks in it and everything. So it was fun. And then I ended up needing, I couldn't take the mask was so tight. And if I took it off, when I put it back down, the hair from the mask got stuck in the eyes and then I couldn't see. And the mask was so tight that I couldn't dig around and get the hair out. So I was so hot. I needed to take a drink of water. And the only water that they had available was it was at an elementary school, was a child's level water fountain. And I, of course, didn't take the mask off. And my wife snapped a picture of that one. So there I am. Getting in there. And I had to get pretty far down there in order to drink water through the mask. But it worked. A lot of things going on tonight. We might be celebrating an American League championship for the New York Yankees, which I'm excited about. Right now, the last time I checked, they were down 1-0. That may have changed since I got prepared to go live and all that stuff. But let's bring in my co-host, resident Mets fan, Maddie Jets. Maddie, how you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm all right. I'm sick. I think I caught what you had last week.
I'm still not 100%, Maddie. Still not 100%.
So probably, I don't know. I'm gonna make it through at least the intermission report, And I won't be on next Saturday either. I got a family thing I got to go to. So.
Oh, okay. Another thing that's more important than the show.
Yes. And
That's what I'm assuming.
I'm not getting into this. We're not having this war. You know I love the show.
What do you mean we're not having this war?
I bleed for the show.
But everything is more important than the show.
So
you know what? Here's what we'll do. All throughout, Maddie, all throughout tonight, it's time to win Maddie's job. Everything is more important than the show. He likes to go out on dates with his wife for her birthday. He likes to go to weddings and funerals. And
understand, if you win Maddie's job, you also win Maddie's credit score. So you might want to think about that.
Maddie, I do have a special guest. I do have a special guest for the show tonight. And it's actually I'm excited. It's in support of you. Now, when I did my old show, and it's because of the hat, mainly because of the hat you're wearing. When I did my old show, I was on a network with a bunch of other kick-ass podcasts, and a lot of them are still going strong. Okay. And it is what it is. My show had to take a back seat. Everything comes to an end in time. And I'm not saying that I'll never do another episode of that show, but obviously I am a Midnight Mike show, Jets content creator now. And I see all you guys, by the way, watching live and in the comments section. I promise I will get to you guys. And guys, tonight, make sure on your way in, you're hitting those thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribing if you are new to the channel. And of course, super chats. Last Tuesday night, I was so sick, I forgot to even mention, guys, please hit me up with some super chats, gift some channel memberships, or join the channel yourself. It's less than a cup of coffee a month. You get a free super chat at the end of the month, all that stuff. So let's try to make up for Tuesday when I just completely dropped the ball, and try to get some super chats in here tonight. And if you don't, oh, by the way, people do like to gift channel memberships. If you want to be gifted a channel membership, you have to go down below in the comments section. You'll see that little dollar symbol. Hit that and make sure, I think it's under gifted channel memberships. You have to make sure you turn on gifted channel membership so that you can be gifted a channel membership. But anyway.
So I think,
okay, Maddie,
we're going to win tonight. I'm rooting for you. I have decided that I want to.
Is it still 1-0?
Yeah, let's check for you. But I have to say, if the Mets come back from a 3-1 hole and win this series, it'll still be the most Mets thing of the 2024 season. Like, it's just what they do. So
well, that's something I want to talk about. So what I'm going to do is bring in one of the hosts of one of the other shows that was on the network, a guy I've known for over a decade. I love his show. He hosts the Turnbuckle Throwbacks, and that, of course, is now over 500 episodes strong. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring him on. And he's wearing the wrong shirt for what I expected tonight, but we'll let him explain. It's the Impact Playa, Mr. Phil Rea. Phil, how you doing tonight?
What's up? No, I'm wearing a Pirate shirt because I play fantasy baseball. I play Stratomatic, and the name of my team is the Pirates. So I came from. I play I got my Mets tattoo. I mean, I got my Mets Turtles tumbler.
Attaboy.
I got a signed, autographed Sid Fernandez '86 jersey behind me, in front of me now, because it's backed up there. And I got my bobbleheads. I have my Mets collection behind. But this is not my regular spot either. I'm just doing this one.
Honestly, when this whole Mets thing started going down, I kept thinking of you because I know you're such a big Mets fan. And throughout the whole thing, I'm like, man, I haven't talked to Phil in so long. I know he's such a big, So what are you thinking here? First, let's talk about let's forget about this series right now, but let's talk about the second half of the season and the start of these playoffs against the Brewers and the Phillies. Like, is this like a dream for you?
Yeah, they were dead to rights by May. You know what I'm saying? They were terrible. And first year coach, skipper, Carlos Mendoza, no one had faith in him. Coming from the other organization that plays in New York, Yep. The mindset was terrible. No one was collaborating. They played like they were just existing, and then all of a sudden, after June, it became like a run. They kept coming back, and they kept coming back with that one series against the Nationals. And I said, I can't believe this is happening. Like, it just felt right, And then by August, I was like, this is great. Then by September, I was like, oh wow, this is fun. And then October. Now they messed up my TV watching because they're usually out of it by now. I'm usually into like hockey and getting ready for basketball and football and stuff. But this is the dream come true. They're defying the odds and they're having such a good time playing. You'd see it, between the Grimace thing and Lindor and his walk up music with the Temptations yesterday. That was pretty cool. I'm just stoked as a lifelong fan. Orange and blue since '82. I've been going since I'm 7 years old. It's a beautiful thing. It's weird because, like I said, they were dead to rights, and to see them now doing this, this is probably their best run in a very, very, very long time.
I mean, I would honestly say, as a Yankee fan, that the Mets run this year is probably one of the most miraculous runs of any New York team ever that I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many eyes on it too because the Yankees are still in it, and everybody's hoping for the Subway Series, the big rematch from 2000. No, you don't want to see it.
He's been very vocal about not wanting this.
Listen, Phil. Here, and I'm not the only one to say this. There's been a lot of other content creators who have said this, but I do not. I would rather lose in the ALCS than go play the Mets because I'm being honest. Look, the Mets are the hot team right now. And that's what you need going into the playoffs. And the Yankees have everything to lose, okay? We already beat you guys in the 2000 Subway Series. We're the big brother team. And to go in against the hot team, if the Yankees win and beat the Mets, everyone goes, oh, of course you did. You were supposed to. You were supposed to be in the World Series all year. If the Mets beat the Yankees, we're never going to hear the end of it. It's over. So I would rather lose the ALCS and let you guys just have your Cinderella season, but not go through us.
I think the only caveat to that is that the Mets always play the underdog in the city, obviously, because of how popular the Yankees are and how long the Yankees been in existence and the 27 championships. I hear this every year. So there's some truth to that, what you're saying. I don't know. I want to say it's a revenge thing too, because in 2000 we had a really good defensive team. We didn't have anything else, and the Yankees were just that good. The expectation every single season is for them to win. So when the Mets win and the Yankees win at the same time, it's not only good for baseball, but it's good for New York. You know what I'm saying? I'm being a little New York biased here, but it's good for the city. I think any kind of inner city, any sports inner city rivalry is good for their city, good for the state. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's a long time coming, man. I like to play. I want to play them again. I just want to get by. With this LA team is ridiculous. Yeah. This LA team, they have no pitching, and they're just hitting. They have no pitching. Their bullpen is atrocious. They lost two of their starters.
They're shutting us down.
Yeah.
Not dead yet.
No. It would again, dead to rights, come back. Dead to rights, come back. Philadelphia, we weren't supposed to be Philadelphia.
So
no, I didn't think you would.
Philly was picked to win the World Series, dude. They were picked to win the World Series. And they weren't supposed to win.
That article in the Post about Phillies fans just losing their minds about it was so good. It was great.
Dude.
Well, they've got hit back to back.
Mike knows my feelings. Mike knows my feelings about Philadelphia. I've been going there for a long time.
It's so funny to see an entire United States city put on suicide watch.
When you have to grease the light poles to sell, when you celebrate a championship,
Yeah.
When you throw batteries and ice at Santa Claus.
When a guy eats a horse turd for a Super Bowl.
I literally just found footage of me and my wife partying on Broad Street the night the Phillies won the World Series. And I'm talking, I have several fires on Broad Street in dumpsters. I have people destroying restaurants, climbing up
mostly peaceful.
Oh, it was mostly peaceful, yes. But I'll tell you, it was insane. I was at every Yankee parade in the 90s. I was there in 96, 90, 98, 99, and 2000. None of them were anything. Now, there was more people, but because Philly's a smaller city, but the destruction that I saw on Broad Street that night, and I'm going to find a way to transfer that over from old tape or whatever to get it. I got to put it out there. It's insane. To see these people like dancing in fire.
How do you boost
there's a huge fire.
They had a day in the old vet, right? I went to a Mets Phillies game in 99, 91 when Frank Viola won the Cy Young. I was in Veteran Stadium, And I was talking to us. I was in the security guard, and I was talking to him. He goes, there's a jail downstairs, right? And I'm like, I didn't believe him. They had a jail in the vet.
Yeah.
And when I went home and I found out it was true, I was like, this is insane. Like this, the city's insane. I've been going there since the '90s for baseball and wrestling. Yeah, man, it's a bad scene over there. So yeah, I just
it's got. So Phil, let me ask you, and you and Maddie. Now I honestly thought, like you said, dead to rights, perfect way to describe it. I thought the Mets were dead to rights when the Dodgers won game. What was it, 4?
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah. I thought that was it. And when the Mets came back and not only won the game, but won it 10-2, like beat up on them. I was like, here those bastards come again. Like, I cannot believe it. So what do you guys think? What are your chances to win this series?
As long as I keep up with the switch out of the hat I wore on game day, we'll be fine.
Okay.
I've been wearing a Mr. Met hat that my niece and nephew bought me this year. They put out a mascot series of hats.
They had a BP hat that Mr. Met was on. I have one of those.
So I got that one. I've been wearing that, and I broke out the sweatshirt, the lucky sweatshirt, even though it was like
I got the hoodie out too.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm kind of, and I have all the bobbleheads lined up behind, now in front of me, but so I'm just, I don't know. I feel like I can't say, I don't want to say they're done, because every time I do, they're not done. So I'm just I'm riding it out, man.
It's LA's in deep shit.
And it's fun because, again, we're not supposed to be here. We're not supposed to be in a situation.
This whole playoff series has been fun. I've watched a lot of wild cards and division series of I've just been watching them all. Teams I don't give a shit about, dude. And I've really enjoyed baseball for like the first time in a few years, where I'm just kicking back with like a beer and watching the game, and it's been so fun.
If you're a fan of baseball, the playoffs are special. They're special because it brings out especially in the short series games, like the wild card and the division series, it just brings out the best of every team. And the managers just throw stuff against the wall, see if it works. It's fun to watch that. And when in this day and age where pitching is not great, you get your starters going 3 and 4 innings now, even in regular season. And when we were kids, it was different. They didn't have middle relief. They had, they carried 6 pitchers, but 4 of them were starters. It's like that's that's what kind of party it was. So now
every day.
Yeah.
Your job, you're pitching 3 innings today, tomorrow, and the next day. So get ready.
Yeah. So it's insane the amount of pitching that you see, and they sped the game up, thank goodness, with the whole pitch clock, and
I like it.
I do too. The pitch clock has made it faster. No, if you're not a fan of the game, if you're a casual fan, no one wants to watch a game for 4 hours, unless you're a hardcore fan.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
To be honest, Phil, I don't know if you know this, but I did media for the Hartford Yard Goats for several years.
I followed you.
And they started that in the minor leagues to test it out, to bring it up. And even then, I originally hated it because it just didn't seem pure. But now looking back at it, now watching games, I'm 100% for it.
Yeah,
because you're right. It's like a 4 or 5 hour game. Sometimes it's like the pitcher stepping off the rubber, standing, then gets back on. It's just so much.
Yeah. I was in Aberdeen, Maryland this summer for a Brooklyn Cyclones game. For 2 games, and I was talking to one of the head of the security guys, not the ushers, like the security guys, and he was like, "Well, because he saw my gear, that's me from you heard the accent. Now I have to he's got to entertain it." And he said the same thing you did. He goes, the pitch clock for us, he goes, in this particular league, he said it's become a godsend. And I was like, all right, well, it is. It's got you have to go with the times, and when the pitching is not good, you got to speed it up, man. You got and you're paying a premium for these tickets now for sporting events. It's as you look at the brackets that you guys are posting now. It's just, if you look at these brackets, the pitching outside of Detroit and maybe Baltimore, Kansas City is a close third. No one had pitching. No one's got dominant pitching. Not even the Phillies did. Even with Nola and Wheeler, they weren't that good. Down the stretch. So I mean,
Phil, how beautiful is that? How beautiful is that to see that Mets logo going up those brackets?
Like for me, it brings. I cried, man, after that Philly series. I was bawling on the way home from work. I said, I can't believe this is happening to myself, and and then I get made fun of when my friends see me online, but. I can't believe this. It's going this far, and I'm like I said, this is all a bonus. This is all a bonus. If you're a Met fan, if you're a diehard Mets fan, this is a bonus to see October baseball, to see them in championship series. Yeah. You're 2 wins away from the World Series. It is insane. And I was at one of the last home games this year against Philadelphia. We got blown out in September, but the crowd, guys, the crowd was insane. You felt it. It was like a Shea Stadium. The seats were rocking. It was loud. People, you couldn't hear the music. My seats were next to the Titantron, not Titantron, the Jumbotron. You couldn't see it. I got that on the brain too. I've been doing some show prep, but the whole it's a vibe, and the city is a buzz. And every time the Yankees are good, the city's always buzzing because the Yankees are expected to be there every single year. And the Mets aren't. The Mets aren't.
And especially with the way the Mets started this season, the first half was embarrassing. And then all of a sudden, I don't know if it was like you said, if it was Grimace, I don't know if it was Hawk Tua Girl.
The Hawk Tua Girl,
I don't know what it was. It's just some good luck showed up for the Mets. And maybe it's like an Angels in the outfield kind of situation. I don't know, but it's
I think there's like a Mets fan somewhere that just sold his soul to the devil.
Yeah, it just I even have an underdog tattoo, man. Just like I like the underdog. I do. And all my teams are terrible, except for the Rangers who once in a while compete, but like all my teams that I root for, all my sports teams are awful.
I know how you feel.
And I just when they win they go this far, it's like Christmas early, It's Christmas early. And I'm so happy that they're doing big.
Well, let me ask you this, Phil. This is a Jets show, obviously. So I want to talk a little bit about the New York Jets. And you mentioned underdogs. The Jets are constantly underdogs. Even when you think they're good and you think they're going to win, they end up being the underdogs because the Jets find a way to jet. So what were your thoughts on the Jets going into this season? And I know you're not a Jets fan, you're not a diehard Jets fan. But what as an outsider, what were your thoughts on the Jets going into this season, and then how do you see them now?
Well, first of all, the uniforms this year pop.
Oh,
that was the first thing when they went to training camp. I was like the old school logo. They brought it back. I mean, I grew up in the '80s, in the late '70s, early '80s. So for me, it's insane to have that back in the NFL. That old school logo is awesome. I didn't have much faith in Coach Salao because he was too defensive minded. He didn't put enough faith into his offense. Even getting Aaron Rodgers, they got him a couple of targets. They didn't change anything. It wasn't a remarkable change. The defense is underachieving. The defense should be better than they are, and they're not. They should have won that game against Buffalo, by the way. That was a disaster. But I thought they were going to like split, go like 500. I picked them to beat the Steelers this week in the pool, and in the Goomba pool.
This is the first week that I'm actually not going to pick them. I think this is the first week I'm not going to pick them.
Yeah, and I had them going 500, and then of course they played my Vikings in London this year, and I wanted them to be competitive because I had friends that were there who were Jets fans. Two of my friends were there; they were Jets fans, and I was hoping they would be competitive. I like I'm not a New York football fan, but I root for them when I'm not playing Minnesota. So that's who that's what I do.
Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, we got the night started off. Let's hit that Jets chant. Jets, Jets, Jets. John Radcliffe coming in with $2, says Mike, Maddie, who gets benched for Olu first? John, I'm going to tell you this right now. I would have no problem seeing Tyron Smith take his seat because as good as he was, all pro like last year, he just is not really pulling his weight. And really that first that touchdown from Braylon Allen and him doing that hold and knocking the guy down, he could have let that guy just walk by and Braylon still would have scored that touchdown because he was so far off to the left. So Tyron's just, his head's either not in the game, something's going on. I don't know what it is, but if I could sit somebody, it would be I'd put Tyron Smith down because that's Olu's position. Let's not put him on the right side. Let's put him where he's used to playing and put him in Tyron's spot and let Tyron sit and think about it for a little while. But that's what I'm thinking. John, thank you so much, guys. Let's keep those super chats, channel memberships, gifted channel memberships, and of course, hit the thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. But yeah, so Phil, you have them beating the Steelers. Now, once again, do I think they should beat the Steelers? Absolutely. But I'm ready. I entitled this episode "Pittsburgh in the Pittsburgh," and it's only because I thought of, I don't know if any of you guys have seen That Thing You Do, the Tom Hanks directed. He stars in it, movie about this fake band, The Wonders. Yeah,
no, I never saw it.
And in that, I believe Jason Pollock, Kevin Pollock. Kevin Pollock is in the movie, and at one point, he's in the movie at one point, and he's just basically a host of a rock and roll show. And when you want to like get ready for a show, you'll be like unique New York, or red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. You're just trying to get that voice going. So he starts going Vicksburg's in the Pittsburgh, Vicksburg's in the Pittsburgh, because a band called the Vicksburghs was headlining a show in Pittsburgh. So that's where I came up with Pittsburgh's in the Pittsburgh. But this could be the week where the Jets officially shit the bed and our season is over. And this is a must-win game for the Jets, Phil.
And on the flip side, though, to play devil's advocate, this could be the week that they pop out, just with that Devontae Adams factor. That could be because again, Pittsburgh not that good. They're not good against the pass, and they're underachieving as well on the defensive side of the ball. So if it's going to be this weekend, it's either shit or get off the pot. That's the old saying. If they don't do it now, they're pretty much, I think, they're shot for the rest of the year. But if they can do it this week with that old magic, with that old Green Bay magic, thank God they're not playing that division no more. But when you have that, if you have it, it sets up for a good scene. It sets up for a good story, and then they can work off that and then get that offense back intact.
Well, the good thing with this whole thing is that if they beat Pittsburgh, then they're playing New England. So that means we'll get us right back to 500. But you have to get by Pittsburgh, who's definitely, in my opinion, overachieving. And once again, we're getting Russell Wilson. We beat him last year. He was with the Broncos, but we beat him last year. And I don't think I would personally, if I was a fan of the Steelers, I'd want Justin. Why am I blanking on his name?
Justin Fields.
Yeah, Fields. Yeah, I'd want Fields. Absolutely. Real quick, guys, I want to hit these and then Phil, I'll let you go. I told you, we have a bunch of show to get to and all that, but we have some more super chats in the house, ladies and gentlemen, hitting the Jets chant. Jets. John Radcliffe, another $5. Thank you so much, John. I appreciate that. And guys, let's give some channel memberships because John isn't a channel member and he is a loyal listener to the show. And I'd love to get him a channel membership. That would be awesome. And guys, it ain't too expensive. Let's do that. He says, I'm unfortunately taking Pittsburgh. They're the best defense the Jets have played all year. And I believe Watt is going to have a lot of sacked lunches. Yeah, that's possible. Absolutely. That's the only guy I'm really worried about is Watt, because we have not been able to protect Aaron Rodgers. He's been getting hit way too often. And the dude's 40. Like, let's be honest. He can't be getting hit that much.
100%.
We got one more in here. Valerie, the first lady of the Midnight Mike show, coming in. Valerie, Jets. Not only a channel member, sending in $5, says Jets tried out kickers this week. I know it's going to be trouble. Yeah, it is going to be trouble because all the best kickers are signed to teams. Like, let's be honest here. And Greg the Leg was so dominant. That's the thing I don't understand about kickers. And it's true across the league for many years. they'll have one or two dominating seasons, and people are like, oh, no. I mean, now, of course, there's like the Adam Vinatieri's and
the fucking mountain.
Yeah, but all of a sudden, he missed a bunch in the preseason. He missed the one at halftime against the Patriots. He missed the game winner against Denver, and then he lost two that would have put us up against Buffalo. Right. I have no faith in Greg the Leg. So at this point, I mean, I don't know how you guys feel, but at this point, I have no faith in him, and it's going to take a lot for me to get back where I truly have faith in Greg Zuerlein.
Well, hopefully, for your sake, they pull out a big W this week. I like to see them go. I don't know. It's like I said, this is the make or break week. You know, to either shit or get off the pot. They have a good. They could win. They could do it. It's gonna be rough though. You know, if Pittsburgh decides to wake up and utilize that defense that they have. So,
absolutely, Phil. Listen. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Like I told you, I was so pumped. Like when I saw, I don't like the Mets. I don't. But when I saw them, when I saw them doing what they were doing, I thought of you. You were one of the Mets
I appreciate you.
Thought of, and I just said I got to get Phil on the show. I haven't talked to him.
Thank you so much, man. You guys are awesome. You guys do a great job.
Do me a favor. Listen, Maddie does not like wrestling, but a lot of people in our chat do like wrestling. So please let them know where they can find you.
Awesome. You can go to turnbucklethrowbacks.com. We're on Twitter at tbuckletbacks. I think it's the same thing for Instagram. I'm all over Instagram too. And I'm doing it solo right now. It's we're going into our 12th year, and we're over 500 episodes, and we're doing. I just love wrestling, and then get ready for my trip to Japan this winter. So we're talking about that a lot, and talking about all the old school stuff, some of the new school stuff. I'm just excited.
What are you going to, like, Wrestle Kingdom?
Yes. First time.
Wow.
Lifelong dream. I wanted to go to domes in 15, so I'm excited. But yeah, turnbucklethrowbacks.com.
That's awesome.
We're on every platform. I think, there, whatever you guys use for podcasts, they have Apple and Amazon and Spotify, all the happy good stuff. So thank you so much for having me. You guys are awesome.
So hey, and
thanks for coming on, man.
If you stick around, if you watch past you might be interested in our next guest. You'll have a good laugh.
I got to return a phone. I got to return a phone call, but I'll jump on when I'm done with the phone call. But you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for having me. So super blessed.
Phil. Really
thank you guys.
Thank
likewise,
you,
man. You guys are awesome.
Whoop. Phil, I love you. And once again, we'll have him back on. No, what happens is if I get any little bit of lag whatsoever, I end up cutting off people when I don't want to cut them off because they're ahead of me or behind me. And it is what it is. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, Turnbuckle Throwbacks, that's the Impact player, Phil Rea, your host, and over 500 episodes of the show. And the thing I like about his show is because when we covered pro wrestling, we always covered 80s and 90s, pop culture, pro wrestling, and horror. And Phil does a lot of like the throwback shows to back when I loved wrestling. So if you like old school wrestling, that's the place to go. In the meantime, while I take a drink, we have a very special guest. Maddie will love this. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring him on. Macho Man, Murdog Savage.
Oh, yeah. Midnight Mike show it, Maddie. Dig it.
What's up, Macho Man?
Oh, I heard you boys were a little under the weather, but one thing is the Macho Man Murdog Savage never gets sick, huh? Why? Because the Creamos rises to the top, brother. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Macho Man, it is great to have you on. And I know we had your old tag team partner, also your old arch rival at some points, Hulk Hogan on the show. Are you still talking to him from beyond the grave, or are you just done with him?
I haunt his ass, brother.
Good. I mean, I'm a big Hulkamaniac, but I also love the Macho Madness.
Yanks are down 2-0.
Damn it.
Just heads up.
Macho Murdog, let me ask you a question. What do you know about the New York Jets?
I know that Joe Douglas made a good choice this week by trading for Devontae Adams. Yeah, and you know what that's going to do, brother? That's going to free up Garrett Wilson a bit more. No bracket coverages for Garrett no more. That's mean they can't stack the box. Yeah, Our stable of 2 running backs are going to be able to run wild. The only thing we need to do is cut down them penalties. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm glad you've been watching, and penalties is a huge problem on the New York Jets. And I don't feel like I've brought that up enough on this show, because even in my reaction videos where I go nuts and maybe start sounding like you, I'll sit there. Yeah, I'll sit there and I'll forget things like Greg Zuerlein and penalties and these things that we have to fix.
Well, Mike, I was a minor league baseball player for the St. Louis Cardinals. Yeah, And one thing I know about baseball is sometimes we get the yips. Let's remember Chuck Knobloch. Yeah, he couldn't throw to first base like Steve Sachs. And Greg Zuerlein's got the kicker's yips.
I agree with that, and I think
he doesn't have confidence in himself right now. Yeah.
Let me just go to these guys. Thank you so much in the chat. You guys have been blowing it up tonight. And we will start talking to all of you guys. But did Macho Murdog dye his beard for this? Clancy asks.
What's that, bro? No.
Awesome. Great answer. I love it. No, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Macho Murdog, if I can... once again, I do apologize to you, and I apologize to everybody for being late tonight, and I know your time is precious. But do you have a prediction coming up? Jets, Pittsburgh, in Pittsburgh, Sunday night. What is the Macho Man Murdog Savage's prediction for this game?
Yeah, Mike, I was listening to the show earlier, and I heard that you're not going with the Jets, and I kind of feel the same way out of superstition, but talent-wise, I'm going to stick with the Jets. Yeah, I'm hoping that the addition of Devontae Adams changes things. They're 2 quarterbacks in Pittsburgh are shit. God bless you, Matty, again. So
Matty's not doing good right now.
All we got to worry about is stopping TJ Watt, because he is the cream that rises to the top.
I agree with that. Macho, Murdog, Savage. Oh, go ahead.
One more thing. One more football thing, brother. Yeah. It doesn't matter, though, how many receivers, bless you, Matty. Doesn't matter how many receivers we get or any little tinkering we do. You can't dominate the line of scrimmage. You ain't winning nothing. Yeah.
Completely agree with you, Macho. Thank you for being on the show. I 100% appreciate it, and I hope that we can get you on another time. And I would love to see you back on the Midnight Mike show. But yeah, me and Maddie are going to be getting to some of these chats, going to an intermission report. And thank you so much for being on. You are one of the best of all time, a true legend.
Thank you, brother. Get safe, brothers. Hope you feel better. Oh, yeah, Jets.
Oh, thanks.
All right, Maddie. Hey, listen, I see what you're going through right now, and I know a lot of people.
Last week.
I was. And actually, you know what? Here's the difference. Last week, I was extremely sick, but I didn't have like the sneezing and the coughing. But there was like a show, I don't know when it was, and it was like towards the end of last season, I think, where me and you were on, and I think I called you and messaged you and was like, yo, I'm not and that show, I had to keep pulling down my mic and everything because I was coughing and sneezing, and it was brutal. If you need, and Maddie, if at any point you need to go, please let me know. I feel terrible.
I'm gonna hang through the intermission report. Okay. And then I'll let you do caller solo just because, I mean, shit, dude, I have to keep spamming the mute button. I keep missing it. Again, sorry, everybody. It came on suddenly, and I got a play I'm supposed to go to tomorrow, and I'm like, I'm going to be so doped up on cold medicine, I don't even know if I'll even notice it.
All right. Well, here's what we have to do, Maddie. I usually prepare for this do our picks. I write them all down. I pick which ones I think are going to be more, the easy picks, the harder picks. I didn't have time for that tonight, hence why I was 10 minutes late. So I apologize to everybody. So I'm literally going on NFL right now. We're going to go down these picks and we're going to figure them out. And unfortunately, my sickness is not 100% gone. And I keep getting very dry throat. So me and Maddie are fighting here. Maddie worse tonight, definitely 100%. So let's go. I'm just going to go down this schedule. Here we go. Let's just start off with our team. We already talked about this, Maddie. We let Phil Ray, we let Macho Murdog talk about it. It's time for us and everybody in the chat to tell us Jets Steelers in Pittsburgh. Who do you got, Maddie?
I got the Steelers 24-20. Till the Jets prove otherwise, I'm done throwing good money after bad with them. They should have won last week. And again, the thing is, like I said, last week they should have won. It should have been that new coach. We're ready to rah, 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 go out and fight. And what they do, they shit the bed again. So I'm not, until they show me that they can cut down those penalties, that they can kick those field goals, I'm not playing ball. Good luck. It is what it is.
I'm going to agree with you. Now, do I think the Jets will score decently? Yeah. And I liked your score. You said 24-20?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Jets could score 20 points, 21 points. But unfortunately, I am just losing complete faith in our defense and all of that stuff. So, you know what? I can't look. And here's why I'm picking the Steelers, because every other time I've picked the Jets and my record is 2-4, like the Jets. So maybe if I pick the Steelers, we will flip that juju and the Jets will prove me wrong. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick, I'm going to say 24-17 Pittsburgh.
I'm getting desperate for a win. I'm about to sacrifice a whole chicken to Jobu.
Joe Boo.
I did watch Major League.
I said, fuck you, Joe Boo.
I do it myself.
Jets are going to win. Russell Wilson is a curse. Look, I mean, once again, I don't want to pick the Jets this week. I want to see what happens. I want to see what happens.
We keep saying Russell Wilson starting, but the last thing I saw was that's the idea, but Pittsburgh has not confirmed it, and they've said, we know who's starting, and we're keeping it in-house. So we'll see.
Jay Reeves, channel member. Thank you so much, Jay. Laughing my ass off. Mike is coming to the dark side. Look, I'm just trying to switch the luck. I'm trying to flip the script. Like I said, get the bad juju out of here. If I'm always picking the Jets and the Jets are losing all the time, why not pick the Steelers and see what the Jets can do? They can prove me wrong. That's what I'm hoping for. Infrared channel member, of course, in here. I'm picking Pitt. Prove me effing wrong, Jets. See, that's
right.
Infrared. That is where I'm coming from 100%. You've got to prove it to me. Guys, make sure there's a lot of you in here tonight. The main thing is hit that thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up down below. It lets more people know that we are live, and it just helps in the algorithms for the show. If you're new, hit subscribe, and of course, super chats, gifted channel memberships, or joining the channel are all a big thank you and are much appreciated, because I am always putting out members only content, and the Tuesday show goes live for everybody, but then goes back behind the paywall. So if you want to watch it on a replay, it is a late show, but sometimes some of our best. So if you want to watch them on the replay, join the channel, become a part of the Midnight Mafia. And yeah, that's that. All right. Going down this list. And the problem is every time I do it, my fucking phone darkens.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, here we go. New England at Jacksonville. Both teams 1-5 in London. This is a true toilet bowl right
this
here.
This is the Booty Cheeks Bowl of Booty Cheeks Bowls.
I don't even
I'll
know
go with New England. Why not?
I'm going to go Jacksonville.
Yeah.
There we go.
This is one of those where I literally, who cares? Whatever.
Philadelphia. God damn, Maddie, what's with us tonight?
I blame you. You gave me this virus via computer, via the internet.
Philadelphia at New York Giants.
Eagles, man. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, look, the Giants have, in my opinion, even though they're 2-4, have overperformed a lot of these games, but it's hard to pick them over the Eagles, even if they're at home.
Yeah.
Seattle.
At home.
Seattle at 3-3, heading into Atlanta 4-2. Who do you got?
I like Seattle.
Okay. You know what?
Atlanta
I'm going to go
just hasn't convinced me. I don't hate Atlanta, but they just haven't sold me that they're ready to handle business that right.
Yeah, I'll go with you. We'll both take Seattle on this one. I like that. Real quick, he's been. I don't know what we're talking about.
Wild
Yeah,
Waves
what-
is tie game.
Is it?
No. I think he's talking about the Atlanta game.
Oh, that's not going to happen. Is that Casey Jones? Hey, I took off the gloves. I had the backpack on. I don't know if you saw my picture earlier today, but this was me trying to drink out of a child's water fountain at my kid's school. There it is, Johnny boy, just for you. Yeah, still haven't gotten undressed or out of my costume from that. Now, yes, I am drinking through the mask. Absolutely. But that's why I'm dressed like this tonight.
The
folks.
chat is right. The Yanks have tied it up 2-2, top of the 6th.
Hell yeah. I would love to win an American League championship on the show. Like, I'd love for it to happen while I'm live. I got the celebration music ready to go. Fuck. I got a confetti cannon ready to go.
Oh, Jesus.
I was going to use it for the Jets. I was going to save it. But clearly that's not happening. So, guys, the call-in link will come. Calm down. As soon as the intermission report is over, I will get the call-in link to all you guys. I really appreciate all you guys blowing up the chat right now. It means a lot to me. And once again, like I told you, one of my favorite things to do, like tomorrow night, is to watch the show, but I don't even watch the show. All I do is watch the comments because I like seeing what you guys throw in there because you guys all make me laugh. Maddie, let's go through this. Come on, we got to go through this.
I'm listening.
We got to make it so we can get you out of here. That's the thing. Tennessee at 1-4. Oh, fuck. Tennessee at 1-4 going into Buffalo at 4-2. Buffalo's winning.
Yeah, Buffalo should shred them.
The Bengals traveling into Cleveland. The Bengals
Whoever
at 2-4. Cleveland at 1-5.
Cleveland, Bengals are a lie.
No, I'm going Bengals because I have Jamar Chase. Is it? Yeah, I have Chase and Joe Burrow on my fantasy team, so I gotta have that. I got to have that. Come on,
this is the beauty of not doing fantasy is I literally I listen to my heart.
What do we got? Houston at 5-1. Damn the Strouds. Going into Green Bay at 4-2.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I like Houston, but by the skin of their teeth.
Yeah. It's the Strouds have constantly proven themselves. Yeah, that's a good team right there. Miami at 2-3, heading into Indianapolis at 3-3.
I'm gonna take the Colts because they're on.
And I think the Colts are getting Richardson back, which it doesn't. I mean, that's not a huge, but
I got a friend at work who's a big Colts fan. She loves the Colts, so I'll give it to her. Have you seen that dork that does the Colts song for every game?
I have not.
Yeah, I'll see to it you see that this week. This dude will never know a woman's touch ever.
This for me is the game of the week right here. Detroit at 4-1, heading into Minnesota at 5-0. I mean, this is that's game that is the game of the week right there.
Yeah, that's a game I want to watch for sure. What time is that game?
That is a 1:00 game.
I will be able to watch most of that game.
Shouldn't that game be? I mean, I know you can't flex games earlier in the season, but that's way better than Jets Pittsburgh on Sunday night. Like, think about that.
Hey, man, occasionally shit shakes out in our favor, so I'm going to be happy with it. God, that's a good game. I'm going to say Detroit, because I keep saying the shine is coming off the apple for Minnesota, and I keep being wrong, but now I'm just going to double down on it because I hate to admit defeat.
I am going to look. We had Phil on. He's a Vikings fan. We have our Sean Neutron, our Minnesota Vikings correspondent on the show. I'm going to stick with my boys. I'm going to wish them all the best, and I'm going to go Minnesota at home over Detroit. That's what I'm going to do there. We got another super chat in here. Hell, fucking yeah. Jets. Guys, keep them coming. We got to make up for Tuesday night when I blew it and completely forgot to be like, hey, guys, let's get a few Super Chats channel memberships in here. John Radcliffe at $2. Detroit is fool's gold, Minnesota easily.
I don't agree with that exactly, but okay. I mean, And John and I are usually in agreement on a lot of things. So
no, look, Detroit is a good team. But if I was gonna, and so is Minnesota. But if I was gonna say one of them is gonna fall off and take a crash, I would say Minnesota.
Yeah, it's gotta end.
Yeah, eventually it's gotta end. Monique in here, Nate in here, Addison in here, Clancy in here, Wild Wave in here, Jay in here. Guys, I love all you guys. Like, it is awesome when I see you guys returning. It just shows the community growing and all this stuff, and I really do appreciate that, guys. Thank you so much. Directly from the Midnight Mike Show heart. Carolina at 1-5, heading into Washington at 4-2.
Washington probably. I mean,
probably.
I'm not gonna underestimate the Redskins' ability to just completely blow up the goodwill that they've gotten with these 4 wins and tank the rest of the season. I mean, not intentionally, just because they're the Redskins, but I'll take Washington because it's at home. But
yeah, I gotta go with the Redskins. Look, Washington has clearly, I think they've started to prove themselves. And at this point, like if we had them going up against a team that was 3-3 or something, maybe I could, but we're talking about the Carolina fucking Panthers. So they've proven.
I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of nice to see Washington not be an absolute disgrace for a change.
Yeah.
I mean, as Jets fans, I know we've talked about this many times. We always kind of root for the underdogs. So,
and when was the last time Washington was good? Like the late 80s?
Like when they beat the Broncos,
early 90s? Yeah, I mean, that's
Basically.
Seriously the last time I could think of that. Yeah, that they were any bit of a good team. We got a 4:05 game. Sorry, I keep coughing. I'm not being able to mute myself quick enough. The Las Vegas Raiders at 2-4. God, a lot of crap games this week. The Las Vegas Raiders at 2-4, heading into LA to play the Rams at 1-4. Who do you got?
I like the Rams. They're due.
I'll go with you on that one. I'll go with you on that one. Yeah, they're due. And they'll be at home in front of Raiders fans.
And as well as, they just traded Devontae Adams. Like, this team's morale is probably in the toilet. So.
And then the final game for Sunday, we have the Kansas City Chiefs at 5-0, heading into San Francisco to play the 49ers.
It's actually be a really good game. I like the Niners in this game.
Yeah. You know what? Fuck it. I'm pick the Niners too.
It's time for the Chiefs to fucking, get knocked down, even if it's a small peg. Just a peg would be fine.
Yeah, and for the 49ers to kind of get a little payback for the Super Bowl. Yeah. I mean, yeah, let's go. Let's all go with the 49ers on this one. Make sure you guys are all hitting that like button on your way in and out. Now we have our two. Why do they do this? Why do they fucking put 2 Monday night games on?
Oh, they're doing that again this week? I wasn't paying attention.
That makes me sick. I hate that. Like, I hate it.
It's annoying.
The Ravens traveling to Tampa Bay to take on the Buccaneers, both teams at 4-2.
Ravens.
It's hard for me to really believe still, even after last season and this season, it's hard for me to really believe in Baker Mayfield. But he's proving himself. But I still can't pick him over Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. So I'm going to go Ravens, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Bucks, if the Bucks pull this one out and get a victory. So it is what it is. And finally, before our intermission report, folks, and then once the intermission report is over, we take your calls. The Chargers at 3-2, heading into Arizona to play the 2-4 Arizona Cardinals.
Chargers had a good game last week. I think they keep it going. I think they get the upset and beat up on. I don't think they beat them bad, but I think they pull out the win. If it goes the other way, I won't be amazed. I just got a weird feeling.
I'll go Cardinals.
Okay.
I don't know why. I'm gonna go. You know why? Because I like their logo better.
That's fair.
There we go, folks. I'm going to be scientific about it and say that I like the helmet of the Arizona Cardinals more than I like the helmet of the LA Chargers or San Diego or their LA. We're gonna go Cardinals on this one.
If we were gonna do a watch along, like a small one, what we should do is the episode of Cheers where they're doing the football betting and Diane is just killing everybody. And it's because she's like, Sam, a dolphin versus a bear. Of course a bear would win. You remember that episode?
I slightly do. I mean, I haven't watched Cheers in so long.
Just throw on. Yeah, I haven't watched Cheers since I watched it on syndication, but that'd be a funny like bi-week episode to do.
Listen, douchebag. See, these are the comments we like. I have no problem with this. I will try to take my tampon out, and I don't want to get. What do you get? What is that you get when you leave a tampon in too long?
Toxic shock syndrome.
Yeah, I don't want to get the.
I need to put one in my nose.
I know this is gross, and my wife hates when I do it. She hates when I do it. But there are many times where I'll sit there and I'll stick a tissue just up there and leave it because my nose is running so much that it's like, why bother? Just.
Well, and my argument is, how are you going to get mad as a woman for doing that?
Wow. Because she doesn't want to see me just. She doesn't want to see me sitting on the couch. I get it.
I'm just saying.
Infrared, it is coming, brother. It is coming. Please. All right, guys, let's do this. Let's get to the intermission report. Now, there's a lot of you in here, and guys, hit that like button. For those of you who are new, the intermission report comes in, and of course, in that intermission report, we have
Mike and Maddie's top 5.
What is Mike and Maddie's top 5? You guys in the comments section, give us generic top 5s. This is once again, this is like and here I am. I'm not good at it. What is it that Michael Scott does? What kind of comedy where you just have to come on with the top of your head? Improv. This is how bad I am at improv. So basically it has to be like improv comedy. It has to be like an improv of a top 5. So not only would we make it generic, top 5 movie snacks, and I'm naming ones we've already done. Top 5 movie snacks, top 5 horror slashers, top 5 football uniforms. We've done all these. But see how they're simple, and all of you could write them in the comments, your favorites, and then me and Maddie could write down ours, and we could get, boom. That's what we want for our top 5. So as we head, excuse me, to our intermission report, I'm Maddie, I don't know what's going on. I was fine all day, and now you're all sick, and I'm sitting here like,
your illness.
It's fucking annoying the shit out of me.
It's like when you get pepper sprayed, you feel like you're okay, and then you get in the shower and it reactivates. That's what it is.
So here we go, folks. It's time to get to Mike and Maddie's top 5, but in order to do that, we have to head to our intermission report.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat.
Right, all right.
Ooh, I like John's.
All right. Oh, I got to get over there. What do we got over there, Maddie?
John's got top 5 all-time favorite athletes that didn't play for your favorite sports team.
Ooh.
I like that one. That's a good one.
I really like that one. I didn't change the background yet. Let me change the background so we're official. Hold on, folks. I'm off tonight. I'm sorry. I was late to the show. I'm now getting sick again because of Maddie, which is bullshit.
Hey, I got to be me.
I like that one right off the bat.
Yeah, I really did like that one.
And you know what's crazy? If he wasn't on my team, I probably would have picked Aaron Rodgers. There it is. John Radcliffe, top 5 all-time favorite athletes that didn't play for your favorite sports team, all sports. Oh, boy. Maddie's going to hate some of mine.
I hate most things you do.
Let's do that.
You want to do that?
Let's do that.
Cool.
Yeah, let's do that one because Maddie is sick.
So I'm gonna try and do one from each sport.
And I just
And then I'll do a wild.
I was gonna there's some guys that I always liked on teams I didn't like, but then they all came to my team. So for an example, I always liked Roger Clemens. He came to the Yankees. I can't use him.
Right.
I always liked Wade Boggs. Then he came to the Yankees.
Everybody came to the Yankees eventually.
Well, that's the fucking problem. I liked Doc Gooden and Darryl Strawberry. And then they came to the Yankees and won some World Series. I don't know. It's hard for me to do baseball because, like you said, everybody ends up on the Yankees.
The problem I have with this, honestly, is a lot of these are picks based on their character and not their playing.
Yeah, but that's what makes somebody like a player. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what makes them likable to you if they're not on your team.
Yeah.
You know, they have to be a good guy. So that's where we're going from. Let's see here. Scott, yeah, it kind of does have to be a team sport because we all have a favorite team, and you kind of have to go for it. I probably also would have even picked Brett Favre because I loved his appearance in There's Something About Mary. Like, I thought that was such a funny thing at the end. Yeah, and the whole movie they keep talking about this amazing boyfriend she had, Brett. And then you find out at the end it's Brett Favre. And then, of course, he played a season of the Jets.
What the hell is Brett Favre doing here? Is still one of the funniest fucking lines ever.
Sorry, Scott. Look, I hate Michael Jordan. He's the best ever, but I hate him. I can't.
This is a good one because it's really making me think. Like, this is one where it's going to be a minute. Because I've only got 2 right now.
I have 4.
I got 3.
And a lot of them, there's a few of them that are a crosstown team because, like I said, there's certain crosstown teams I don't hate. All right, I see all your guys' stuff in here. I need 4. One more. I need one more to make my list. And you know what the worst part is? I know that I'm going to write, once again, here we are. I'm going to write this list, and
all week
here's
you're
where I
going
have Here's where I have a problem with this, Craig. He says Barry Sanders, Barry Bonds, Michael Jordan, Pete Rose, Jim Brown. Barry Bonds is a roid head, and I'm sorry, like, he's an asterisk. And then Jim Brown, the NFL celebrates this guy like he's like this god, and he was on the field, but his off the field stuff. I'm sorry. You actually, this is, if you take out Barry Sanders, right? And all the other guys have shady ass shit in their past. All of them. Barry Bonds, Michael Jordan. How did his father die? I mean, that was a weird situation. Pete Rose. Once again, I don't think Pete Rose should not, like, it sucks that he's not in the Hall of Fame and he just passed away and he never got to see it. And Jim Brown, man, he was rapey. He was a rapey MFer. So I don't know about that. Nate, is this a troll? This is a troll.
Yeah, I love Nate. Nate's my favorite. All right, I got my 5.
Oh, there you go. There you go. That's a pretty good list right there.
Not a bad one. That's
a pretty good list from the Jet stream. Murdog coming in. Griffey, Barry Sanders, Jordan Gretzky, Mario Lemieux. That's a pretty good. No, not free Bonds. Fuck that shit. With his big ass head. Now I have a big head.
Honorable mentions are a couple of New Jersey Devils, by the way.
I couldn't even get to that. I still only have 4.
Well, I'll do my honorable mentions then. My honorable mentions are Scott Stevens and Claude Lemieux.
Oh, now you're talking, man. That's a 96 Devils right there. 95, sorry.
95.
Yeah.
I hated both of them with everything I was and would have machine gunned a room full of people to have them be Rangers.
All right, I'm going to throw a little wrench in here, okay? Because I see like Nate comes in here with the Jamaican bobsled team. I know that's a troll, but obviously you'd be rooting for the U.S. because you're American, right? So I see the troll, but I'm going to go with my number 5. The USSR hockey team of the 60s to the 80s.
Okay.
Look, they may not have been, they may have been commies, they may have been Reds, they may have been all, but you have to respect what they did in international hockey. Like I'm telling you, over 20 something years, they lost like a game and won several Olympic gold medals and world championships.
That's why I collect Soviet hockey jerseys.
Yeah, it's unbelievable how good this team was. And once again, it's not like they were the assholes starving their nation. It's not like they were the asshole. These were guys who were basically soldiers, but really were just professional hockey players who were paid to be amazing, and they were. And I love the USA 80s 1980 team beating the shit out of them and winning that. I mean, that is the best story in all of sports ever. But you've got to respect the 60s to the 80s USSR hockey team. Hey, Sasha, what's up?
Hi.
How you doing tonight?
Good.
You ready? Are you going to watch the game with your dad on Sunday night, or are you going to be in bed by then?
Probably be in bed by then.
Okay, fair enough.
Take over for me.
What, Sasha, what are you being for Halloween?
I'm being a bowl of cereal.
Nice. My kids are Ninja Turtles.
Nice.
That's what they were. Yeah. So what kind of cereal? What's your favorite cereal?
My favorite is Cocoa Krispies, but they're too hard to make into cereal, so I'm doing Fruit Loops.
Oh, that makes sense. My favorite cereals have always been like Fruity Pebbles or Cocoa Pebbles, which they're the same as I think as Cocoa Krispies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are. And you know what's the best about those, Sasha? Is they when you eat them, when you're done, the milk is always very sweet because of that. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's good seeing you.
Yeah.
Wait. Do you have a favorite a sports player that's not on a team your dad likes?
I don't really know.
That's okay. Well, have a good night. I appreciate you coming in.
Have a good night, everybody.
Everybody, make sure to say shout out Sasha there in the chat.
I figured I was like, oh, my voice hurts. I'll let her run the show for a minute.
All right. So my number 5 was the USSR hockey team. You got to have respect for that.
One. It's a great
and
one.
Ladies and gentlemen, for our intermission report, Mike and Maddie's top 5, we're doing the top 5 players or teams that aren't your team that basically
players that never played for your team.
Yeah, your team that you like. Go ahead, Maddie. Give me your
my number 5 is Jim Bouton.
Your honorable mentions were those 95 Devils, and then your number 5.
Jim Bouton. I'm a big reader. My favorite baseball book of all time is Ball 4, and I would have loved if Jim Bouton had played for the Mets for a little while to give us the inside scoop of stuff over there. I think that would have been really fun.
All right. My number 4 is Mark Bavaro. Just a fan of the guy. Like, it's like back in those 90s teams, you had the Phil Simms and you had the LTs and all that, but there's always that guy who is always talked about, but not as high as the other guys. He wasn't the Dave Meggett. He wasn't the Phil Simms. He wasn't the Lawrence Taylor, but he was right there. And that's what made me always like Mark Bavaro. So he's my number 4.
That's a good one. My number 4 is Barry Sanders. I maintain Barry Sanders, to me, will always be the greatest running back of all time that I've ever seen play.
I agree. In our lifetime, absolutely,
Just
no
100%. I would watch the Lions when they were dog shit just to watch him play. Oh, Larry Bird is a good one, Scott. God damn, I missed the mark on that one.
Oh my God, I didn't even.
I wasn't gonna pick any Lakers, but man, Bird's a good one.
Larry Bird. I will just name him. He's not on my list, but
Yeah,
I knew
we
this
can
would
all
happen.
agree Larry Bird is.
Larry Bird, Larry Legend, baby. He is, and I love watching his highlight reels still to this day.
There's a great YouTube channel, Basketball Time Machine, and they do a lot of those old school clips and videos, and they do a lot of Bird stuff. It's great.
Greg coming in with the Steroid Hall of Fame right here. I like that.
Oh, there you go.
John Radcliffe coming in, and he says Michael Jordan, Mariano Rivera, Lundqvist, LT, and Fitzgerald. Larry Fitzgerald went to the same military school as me. Figured I'd let everybody know he was in middle school when I was in high school.
Interesting.
The military school went from 7th grade up until the second year of college. So
I like Clancy's Gary Payton. That one's a good one.
Here's where you start to hate me there, Maddie.
Go for it.
My number 3, Eli Manning.
I don't hate Eli.
Okay, well, fair enough. But I have Peyton and Eli. Both are terrible actors. Terrible. But something about the way they act in skits and commercials and things like that is hilarious.
Yeah, they do pull it off really well.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it because they're so bad at. Maybe that's it.
Maybe that's just good casting.
So bad,
it works, but yeah.
Yeah, they're so bad that it's good. And did you watch that Eli Manning presents a Baker Mayfield going undercover yet?
No, I haven't yet. I forgot about it. I'm glad you reminded me.
Check it out.
You guys are still tied at 2, by the way.
Chad Powers himself, Eli Manning.
I gotta watch that.
Who do you got at number 3?
Number 3, I have Steven Adams.
Okay.
Steven Adams is just an all-around good dude. And I was at the Nuggets game where basically Mason Plumlee went up for this awkward dunk or whatever, and he was gonna fucking smash his face into the floor. And rather than going for the block or anything else, Steven Adams just made sure and caught him and made sure he was cool. Just, it's 2 points. It's not the end of the game. It was like in the first or second quarter. And ever since that game, I really started watching him, and I was like, this dude is just solid. He looks like Aquaman, but I really like him. And he's my favorite non-Nick Nugget player in the NBA and has been since that game like 6 years ago.
I want to point out, Infrared, I think you're missing what we're doing here. Infrared channel member, loyal, love Infrared. Yes, Marino is better than Eli. I agree. But we're talking about just like Marino did pretty good in Ace Ventura. But Eli and his little skits and it's a different world. That's all I'm saying. All right, we're moving to our number 2. My number 2, you'll hate me now, Peyton Manning. For the exact same reason that I like Eli. And I mean, even that stupid fucking commercial where he's Peyton and the lady comes up and she's like, "Oh, I love that. I love that Peyton." And he's like, Peyton,
Yeah,
I just something about how doofy they are makes me laugh.
We have some shit in the back of the store and it has a tag on it that says "Save for Peyton," and I'm like, one of these days that fucking dude is gonna come into the store when I'm working and it's gonna go so poorly.
It'll be the last day you work at the store.
Probably.
Guys, I see, you guys we're doing great tonight. Guys, over 60 of you live right now. Make sure you're hitting that like button. We're only growing, and by hitting that free like button down below. But Maddie, I forgot to tell you, on our Tuesday show with the one we did when Robert Saleh got fired, we broke our live stream like record.
Oh, we did? What did we hit?
We hit 65 thumbs up. Now, once again, I don't compare that to my reaction videos. That's a whole different world.
That's fantastic, man.
Yeah, for live videos, we did it on a Tuesday night. We broke the thumbs up record with 65, and there's 65 in you right now. So if all of you hit the thumbs up right now, we can break it, because I know that we'll get at least one more and get to 66. So please, it helps out so much. You guys don't get it.
We'd really appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, those of you who don't have YouTube channels, for some fucking reason, YouTube really takes into consideration that thumbs up. So it'll not only will it make more people see that we're live, but even when the show goes down and people watch it on the replay, and if you're watching it on the replay, hit it because it'll still count. It lets more eyes on the product.
Guys,
so
we would just appreciate it. It takes nothing from you. It doesn't cost you anything. We'd really appreciate it.
All right. Number one, you already mentioned him, Maddie.
Wait.
Oh, did you?
Can I do my number 2?
Yes. Go ahead.
This motherfucker right here.
I'm sorry, man.
My number 2 is Boston Red Sox, Jim Rice.
I'm having a hard time with that.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Sox.
It has nothing to do with his ball playing. It has to do with the fact that one day a little kid got fucking drilled, and Jim Rice's actions and his quick thinking to get that kid to the Red Sox trainer saved that boy's life. Jim Rice is a hero, and that's why I like him.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Channel member, also moderator for this channel, Kim. We love Kim. Comes in and says, I have a bunch of friends over. The top 5 has all kinds of conversations going on. Oh, shout out.
Well, have them log in and hit the like button, for fuck's sake.
There we go. Or call in as a party. Like, get one of your phones.
That would be funny.
I'm about to put it in the
I might
in the
stick around for that shit.
Yeah, man. I mean, that would be a blast. I mean, you guys don't have to come on and give us all your top 5s, but come in, show the room, everybody. Yeah, we're having fun. Boom. That's all we need. But Kim, no, seriously, thank you so much. And you are always on top of things here as a moderator for the channel, and I can't thank you enough. So thank you for being here. And we have, before we get to our number 1s, we have a Jets chant. Jets. Channel member Scott Foster coming in with 199 says, before I pass out. Now, I don't know if that's because you're bored with us or because you're super tired, but we appreciate you knocking in that 199, guys. Keep it going tonight. You guys are doing awesome. Super chats, channel memberships, gift some channel memberships. There's some literally diehard fans of the show in here who usually have a channel membership who don't. So maybe we gift a few channel memberships, try to get some of those guys back on board so that you can get all that behind the paywall Midnight Mafia channel member stuff. I would appreciate that. But thank you so much, Scott. You are the man. You always come through. All right, let's do our number 1s, Maddie. I will go first. You already mentioned him. He is the best running back of our lifetime, possibly of all time. And as much as he broke my heart in 1997 in that final game, keeping us from the playoffs and running for like 150 yards to put him over like 2,000 for the season, motherfucker. Barry Sanders is the goddamn man, and everyone needs to know it.
He is. He's the GOAT.
Yep.
No argument there. My number 1 is I had to go with hockey, and I am going with, and I want to see if you can guess. Many have called this guy the most underrated player of all time. And he played a long time in the state you reside in.
Gordie Howe.
No. Ron Francis. No one has ever called Gordie Howe underrated.
Wow.
Ronnie Francis is
no, I know. When originally you said hockey player, I thought you were going Wayne Gretzky immediately.
That's the problem. And we
then
talked
you said
about
played
this
in the
as being
state
New York fans. Almost everybody has played for our teams. So, like with the Rangers, for years, that was just where every good player went to die. So, but no, Ronnie Francis, man, I love that dude. I loved watching him play. That dude was an amazing, amazing hockey player. Chico Resch.
Well, absolutely, man. I look, that was a good top 5. Thank you, John, for coming up with that one.
Was a great one, John.
Next week we'll let it simmer a little more. Yeah, but we were a little over, and I wanted to make sure that if Maddie wants to go, he has the chance to go, and he has always said, I'll stay past the intermission report, or I'll stay for the intermission report, and then I'll leave at some point after that. So
if
now we get that over.
Calling in, I'll stick around.
Well, I can't promise.
I want to see the party line, Kim. Let us know what's going on.
All right. Well, let's do this. Let's get out of the intermission report, and then I will drop the link for you guys to call in. So we will be right back.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat.
Maddie, one thing I want to talk about with the people who do call in, which I will drop the link right now. I'm sorry about that. I usually do it while I'm in that little drop, and I forgot to. But one thing I do want to bring up that people have been talking about is the whole Fireman Ed thing. Have you heard about this?
I meant to bring that up too, and I just kind of got distracted. I don't know what to think about this, honestly.
Do you want me to tell you what I think about it?
Yeah, please do.
I think that that's a man that I've been watching since I was a little kid. And and it's like my memories as a child of watching Fireman Ed do the Jets chant and start the Jets chant. Like, that is our thing. And I'm not saying Fireman Ed is the thing, but I'm saying that him and Jetman, and there's another guy who does it. These guys do it, like leading those Jets chants after touchdowns, during kickoffs, things like that, and the defense chant. This is one of the things that binds us together as Jets fans, is that Jets chant. And you need a guy leading it to get all 80,000 fucking people in there doing it at the same time, because otherwise you have it like back when they did it at Shea, and you have sections doing it at a time. I want the whole stadium doing it. I want that to be, and another thing is, I don't know, I haven't seen him in here. I don't know if Dano is in here, but he had also mentioned the whole, like, you remember during the Rex Ryan era when the Jets used to run around and do this?
Yeah.
And do like we need to bring that back. Get a touchdown and fly, baby. Or on the sidelines. Like, we need stuff that makes us the Jets. And Fireman Ed, he pays for his own season tickets. It's not the Jets paying for him. He was there. Like, people say, oh, well, he left the team for those couple seasons. It's not about Fireman Ed. Now, keep in mind, he was in the stadium at that time. He just wasn't leading the chants. He kept his season tickets. But my point being is, doesn't necessarily need to be Fireman Ed, although I want it to be Fireman Ed, because when I eventually bring one of my little girls to they know Fireman Ed. Like, they know Fireman Ed, and I want them to see him on the screen. But it doesn't have to be him. But we have to keep the Jets chant going, because that's what defines our team. And that's where I'm standing at this. And if someone in the Jets organization is trying to put the Jets chant in the background, or put Fireman Ed or Jetman or whoever in the background, shame on them. That's how I think about it.
I think if it's legit, I think Fireman Ed's overreacting. I don't think anyone is putting anyone in the background or anything else. I mean, I'm not at the stadium though, so I don't think the Jets chant will ever be phased out. I don't think it will ever die. It's the Jets' identity. It's not going anywhere. I think, again, I'm not there, so I don't see it, but I think that watching the games, I hear the chant in the stadium. I think this is, I don't know. This seems a little bit like, and I could be wrong, but it seems like Ed's a little prickly about something. You know what I mean? Like, it might be an imagined slight. But that said, I don't know. It could be a reflection of this team's play. I mean, this team is not giving us a reason to
That's
get
when
up.
you need it the most, though.
Yeah, you do.
But that's when you need it the most.
Yeah, but you know what? Give me something to cheer for.
Nate said the stadium was dead as fuck. Channel member, by the way. Nate says the stadium was dead as fuck, and there were no chants in a close game on Monday, Maddie.
I did not have the sound on for Monday's game. I was at a bar with my friend. Well, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm gonna watch this. This is one of those things where I'm gonna watch with interest, but I don't see Fireman Ed or the Jets chant ever getting phased out.
I'll tell you what, I sure fucking hope not.
No.
All right, let's I got one of our captains, Murdog, in the back. He's gonna be coming on soon. Maddie's gonna be heading out when he's not feeling well. And obviously that's why I have guys like Murdog, and that's why I have guys like Sean and Tommy Jets. but I got some people on the line. But before you leave, I do have to bring on this guy because how can we have a show without Mets 2128?
Meet the Mets. Step right up and greet the Mets. Bring your kiddies, bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life because the Mets are really...
You just want to play that intro so bad every time. I know it.
How many people do you have on a show that have actually pinwheel tossed a kid out of a shopping cart and got fired for it? I mean, like, that's rare. And we have the man himself, Mets,
We need to make shirts
here
for that.
in person. That's how you do. Hell yeah, we need to make Mets shirts. Mets 2128 shirts with a nice like cartoon.
The circular thing, and instead of the sky backdrop, there's a cart, and then there's just like a toddler flying across it.
Was it a toddler Mets or was it an older child like 8?
More like a 2 or 3 year old.
Attaboy.
Oh
Beat him young. Beat him young. In fairness, if we do it, Mets, you definitely get a free shirt. And on the back,
absolutely.
For a 1 of 1 on the back, it'll say, "I am him."
Hell yeah! Well, no, if we get those made, if we get a really nice design, we got to send them all to Mets and have them sign them.
Fuck you guys.
Yeah, that'd be part
Mets,
of the Kickstarter.
What's the score of the Yankee game, Mets?
2 each. Bomb 7.
Oh, I have. Look, I have a confetti cannon ready to go.
I'm right now watching Georgia against Texas.
What? You're not watching the American League Championship?
My TV setup doesn't pick up TBS.
Yeah, if you don't have cable, this playoffs has been really hard to watch.
That's actually bullshit. Because look, I get the wild card, I get the regular season, things are hard to watch. But when it gets to the playoffs, when it gets to division round,
championship series, it should be on national television.
And it will be on Fox. It's just that I wish that they put one league on fucking NBC or CBS instead of putting it on TBS, TNT, and True TV for fucking HBO Max.
Yeah, it's frustrating, dude.
and I'm telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen, if the Yankees win and I bust this confetti cannon, the last time I busted a confetti cannon was the show where Zach Wilson was traded, and up in my light up there are still pieces of confetti cannon. Like it's impossible. Every time I move anything, more pieces of confetti cannon show up, and I'm still cleaning it. So
you're probably going to get plastered if the Yankees win.
I get plastered every night, Mets.
Yeah.
That's just
you're
me.
not married. You don't understand.
More plastered than you normally do.
Fair enough. Mets, what do you think? What do you think? Earlier in the show, I had on Phil Rea and obviously Maddie, and we were all talking about this Mets series. They got that game back. 2 games left. What are their chances?
Much better than they are when they played since 2016. Here's the weird paradox I found with this series between the Mets and Dodgers. Since 2016, they've only beaten the Dodgers at home, as in at Citi Field, 6 collective times. However, there seems to be a little more magic up the sleeves when they're playing in LA. I mean, just the last 3 or 4 years alone, they've managed to win like 6 or 7, maybe even 6 or 7 in Chavez Ravine.
But
I'm just saying,
so what do you think? Do the Mets win this next game?
Yes. I mean, it just depends on who the Dodgers put on the mound. It's more likely they'll go to a bullpen game since they were stupid to put Jack Flaherty out there on 4 days rest. But then again, pitching has not been a strength for either squad in this series, especially at the starting rotation. I mean, who's had the best outing for each team? Midnite for the Mets at 5 innings, Jack Flaherty in game 2, Jack Flaherty in game 1 for the Dodgers with 7. Everyone else has never been able to get past the fourth inning at worst.
I mean, there have definitely been some high scoring games in this series, and it's usually one team just blowing it up.
It's feast or famine.
I mean,
Nate comes in and says, "This dude needs to stop yelling at me. I'm also a Mets fan. What the fuck?"
My point
I don't think he's yelling directly at you.
My point is, the Mets need to capitalize on this going in tomorrow night and Monday if we even get it.
Oh, absolutely. I hate. I'm actually cheering for the Mets, because of all you guys. It's because of you guys.
If you guys watched my last two Met calls, I blew a gasket and actually boycotted calling Game 5.
Well, that was kind of a mistake, wasn't it? Because you would have been thrilled.
I was at least keeping tabs on it. I can't really call it tomorrow anyway because I'm going to be worn out from having to celebrate my old man's birthday tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
It's going to be a big party. Strippers, booze.
My father is
grannies.
He's got Alzheimer's, and I don't think he would even remember any of that shit.
Even
you
better.
Tell him you play for the Mets.
Yeah, there you go. Happy birthday, Dad. I was just signed to the Mets.
You should sign a baseball for him and be like, yeah, I'm the starting second baseman for the Mets.
He's not that stupid. But he is
stupid. I said Alzheimer's.
Yeah, there's a difference between being stupid and having Alzheimer's.
Yeah, I'm not going to call anybody with Alzheimer's stupid. They have a disease.
So, okay, Mets. I got people waiting. By the way, John, you were waiting in the thing. I was going to get to you, buddy. Please try and call back in, and I will get to you. Mets, one last thing. Tell me, Jets, Steelers, Sunday Night Football. Who do you got?
I'm going to say Jets, but that's only because I don't know how fresh Russell Wilson is. Has the rust worn off? And I still wish it would be Justin Fields in there because I want to see them chase him around. With Russ, you got someone who's just going to sit there in the pocket. Trust me, either one's better than Kenny Pickett, but I would have preferred seeing the Jets kill Kenny.
Never going to get
I know you would, Mets. But but hold on. I would prefer Russell Wilson because one of the Jets' kryptonite is scrambling quarterbacks. Look at what Josh Allen did to them. They had him, sacked several times. He slips out of it, runs around and throws the ball 40 yards downfield. And all of a sudden, look at what we did. So I would much rather play Russell Wilson. I'll be honest.
I know one quarterback out of this new breed they're not going to be able to hit, even if they were to play him this year. And that's Jaden Daniels.
No, they don't play
big fish in small pond situation.
But yeah, you're not wrong.
I know big fish in small pond situation with him, but still, the guy's got some of the best pocket discipline I've seen in years.
Well, I appreciate you coming on, Mets. Will we see you Tuesday night?
Hopefully, yes.
All right. Have a good one.
Meet the Mets. Step right up and greet the Mets. Bring your kiddies, bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life because the Mets are
really... Hey, John.
I love it.
How you doing, guys?
Good.
Oh, man, how you doing tonight? I'm Mr. Pessimism. I'm on your train now, man. I'm picking the Steelers.
Yeah. I hate being right about these things, but like Maddie said, I got to see it to believe it, and I hate being right. I'm not happy that the team is this, especially blowing easy games. They should have won.
Yeah. Well, the last 3 games, all 3 of them, they
exactly.
Should have won.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, realistically, the Jets are a Will Levis meme away from being 1-5, and realistically, they're just kicking some fucking field goals away from being 5-1. It is what it is, but that's football. That's life.
Absolutely, John. Do you mind if I bring in Murdoch with us?
Nah, man, it's cool. Your show. I'm just a guest.
Let's bring him in, Murdoch. I get it. I want to make sure everyone. Hey, what's up, Murdoch? How you doing tonight?
What's up, man? I'm on pins and needles with this Yankee game.
You always miss it. Earlier on, we had Macho Man Randy Savage on the line. It was awesome.
No way.
Absolutely. And he came on.
You got to get JD on again.
Yeah.
You got to get Joe Douglas on again.
We'll get him on one day.
I'll put a call in for you, John.
Awesome.
Like
but no, so I have a legit question. I have a legit question for you guys.
Yeah, with this Pittsburgh game, please. Oh, go ahead.
What's up? What's up, Mike?
No, I was saying, go ahead. What's the question?
So my question is, if we drop this game to Pittsburgh, fall to 2-5, then beat up on New England next week, and then drop against Houston, realistically, what do we do at the deadline at 3-6? I mean, realistically, what are our options at that point? Like, do we try to, because we got some weaker teams coming up, do we try to make a push for the playoffs, or what do we look at here? Because we got to win these next two or three. We got to. Otherwise, that's the season.
That is 100% true.
So what exactly would you do if we go into the deadline at 3-6? What do you do at that point? Because, I mean, we can't keep getting kicked in the nuts like this.
I personally think that we are going to have Rodgers next year. With this whole Devontae signing, yeah, I think we're going to end up with Rodgers. So who can we get rid of at that before the trade deadline to benefit us in the draft and going forward next year to shore up the positions that we need to fix? And that, well, I mean, that's.
I have a couple ideas, but you're probably not going to like them. Quincy Williams, decent linebacker, could definitely fetch probably a second from a team that needs linebacking help. Quentin Williams has actually kind of been a disappointment, but you just gave him that big contract, so I don't think teams would be as ready to trade for the contract, and he hasn't put the production up this year. And then if you really want to get crazy, like a fuck it, nuke everything, Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner. But I mean, that's like absolute worst case scenario. You lose to fucking New England and you're sitting at 2-7 instead of 3-6. But like I said, if they win the next 2 of 3, they're still in the hunt. But like worst case scenario, do you think the team could actually move forward from like 4-5 and then try to just squeak out some wins down the other line, especially with Tua saying he's going to come back and the Jets having to play them in late November and December? And I mean, we'll get them once up here in New York, but down in Miami in week 19 or week 18, would that be enough to maybe get the Jets in if they're sitting at the if they're sitting right there for like that final wild card? Like, these are things you got to start considering, and we're only going into week 7.
It's an absolute, in my opinion, we're in a nightmare scenario because I never thought we would be here in going into, like you said, week 7. It's like, how are we 2-4? I think we definitely need to see how things play out. But I'm also, I think this season has definitely clarified in my mind that this whole, how are we going to keep Brees and Sauce and Garrett? It's like, we don't need a bunch of them because they haven't produced this year. And I am not against if Joe Douglas or whoever thinks that some of these guys are not worth it. I mean, look, what are we going to look at it this way? We keep all these guys, we sign them to new contracts, and then they still don't perform. We have this year, maybe next year, and then we're in a rebuild. I don't care who we have. I don't care if we have Garrett and Brees and Sauce and Jermaine Johnson. We're still going to be in a rebuild, so none of those guys will matter.
Well, of those 3 players you're talking about, realistically,
so we need to do whatever it takes to make sure that.
Well, of those 3 players you did mention, realistically, the most expendable would be Hall, because I mean, every time Allen touches the ball, he gets us. He's been getting those tough yards we need. And I've said since last year, Brees Hall's not a guy you can hand the ball to on 2nd and 3rd down and say, go get me those 2 or 3 yards. And he's showing it. He finally had a good game against Buffalo, but their run defense has been dog shit all season. So I'll give Brees Hall a pass if he goes up and lights Pittsburgh's ass up this weekend, but I just don't see it happening. Whereas I can give the ball to Allen 4 or 5 times, and he can get me the tough yards we need. He's not as flashy with the big plays, but he gets you the numbers you need. Honestly, I would keep Garrett Wilson around. The kid has been awesome with no quarterback play, and it seems like Rodgers and him are finally starting to get some type of connection. So him and Adams together could definitely open up the middle of the field for tight end plays and for more passes to your boy Lazard. I mean, you got to keep Wilson and you got to keep Sauce. Even though Sauce is having a down year, he's still a top 3 corner in the league right now. You could definitely say the only players that might be better than him are Shatan and Stingley. And there's nothing wrong with being 1A, 1B, and 1C when you're those three caliber of corner. There's nothing wrong with that. So I would keep Hall and Wilson Wilson and Sauce undoubtedly, but at the same time, I'd just let Hall go because Allen is proving what I said the whole time, and that kid's a mauler. He's a beast.
And what about Jermaine?
Unfortunately, man, he was on a trajectory for a solid season, but that Achilles is a real bitch. So we'll see how he does next year. But if McDonald can keep producing at the rate he has been, and granted he had most of his big games against Tennessee and New England, I think he's pulled off 1 or 2 sacks in every other game, though. If he can just give us some type of production and continue at the rate he's going, he's on pace for 15 sacks this year. You get him to continue his level of growth, and you get Johnson to continue. What?
I don't think he'll get to 15.
Neither do I, but that's what he's currently paced at. So if he can just get us 10 sacks, and then we have Johnson coming back, who had 3 before his injury. I think those two are going to be fine pieces to build around. But right now, we have to worry about this year while simultaneously worrying about what the hell we're going to do if we don't make the playoffs, and what we're going to do if we go into the deadline at 3-6. Because 4 and 5 is manageable. 3-6 is a lot harder.
Yeah.
I mean, I completely agree. Maddie, what do you think?
I agree. I mean, we are in a terrible spot right now. I mean, I feel like every game is a must-win game for the next few weeks. And, I don't want to think about what we'd have to do at the deadline, but if we're dog shit at the deadline, that's a very real possibility. So, John bringing the fucking tough questions, but he's not wrong.
Murdoch, what do you think?
Well, to go back to the beginning, when you mentioned trading Sauce and Garrett, they're a part of our core and our future. We're not moving.
I was talking extreme hypothetical with that. Obviously, they're not going anywhere.
That thought can't ever cross anyone's mind. Now, if Brees is part of our core too, but if Braylon is going to be this good, then you have flexibility. Maybe you could do that if you get some good return. But I mean, like I've been saying a lot the last few weeks, the AFC East is weak this year. 2 teams are already dead in the water. Buffalo is Buffalo, right? Like we probably should have won that game. They still got 3 games left. That should be losses. They got to play at Detroit. They got to play San Francisco. And they got to play the Chiefs. And we don't have to play – we played San Francisco, but they're in our rearview mirror. Those are upcoming games for Buffalo. So even if you give them 3 losses, until this division is settled that we're eliminated from the division title, I'm not giving up.
I agree with that. But you bring up Detroit, and one thing I've noticed about Detroit is they have played some really bad teams. And the one legit deep offense they did play when they saw their healthy offensive line – Seattle may have lost the game, but they carved that defense up. The Buccaneers carved that defense up. Tampa Bay's inability to stop the defense is why I said they were fool's gold earlier. Minnesota's defense has more than enough to keep them in check, and they have more than enough to put up points on them, which is why I'm taking Minnesota to win that game, Maddie.
Their offense is too efficient to keep
up. It is, but it does go into slumps if Jared Goff is not on, there's no in between with Jared Goff. Either he's on or he's ice cold. And that's been his flaw ever since he was a Ram.
But then they also have 2 stud running backs to rely on if Goff is cold, and they have a pretty.
You're not wrong. They have a very good offense, but if Goff has his bad days, we've seen him stall that offense, and he's already done it this year. So it's going to be interesting to see, especially what goes on with the Bills and those tougher opponents you did mention. Like I said, the division's not out of reach, but losing that game when we could have been first in the division for the first time this late into the season in 10 years, it would have been nice.
I agree.
Well, on that note, I agree, and I am going to call it an evening.
Yeah, I got to be at the prison tomorrow morning, too.
I feel like dog shit, guys. I love y'all, but I got to get some rest. I got obligations tomorrow. I will see you guys Tuesday night. Murdoch, the second chair,
later, Matty.
My friend. Good night.
Hey, a quick question for both of you while you're here. When the Jets lose, do you guys take it out on the inmates?
Oh, absolutely. No.
100%.
No, the funny thing is there's one who's actually a Jets fan in there. So I talked to her, and then we just got a new one who's actually a Steelers fan. So they better fucking win because I've been talking shit all week.
Man, I'll tell you right now, Maddie can attest to this. you will talk sports with these guys more than pretty much anything because that's what they try to consider their in to get in with you.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are just like, I don't really tell guys who I'm a fan of because it's none of their fucking business, and you don't want them knowing your business for the most part. But you just talk sports with them. It is what it is.
Oh,
and
I got
when you're having a bad day, yeah, you yell at them a little bit more.
I got a little Jets helmet that hangs off my belt. They know who I am.
Yeah, whenever my teams lose, I do tend to give them a little bit more shit.
Guys, thank you for all the well wishes. Murdoch, good to see you, bud. Mike, always a pleasure. John, good to see you, dude. I will talk
Later,
to you
Matty.
guys later on. Sleep well, everybody. I'll see you Tuesday.
See you later, bro.
Hey, Mike, if you want to switch Murdoch to the top, go ahead, man. He's your co-host now. I'm just some guy.
There we go.
That doesn't matter.
But yeah, John, if you have to go, we can let you go. But thank you so much for all the support, man. And I actually loved that question coming in because it really is. It is a question because none of us thought that we would be here at this point in the season. You know, I didn't think for a second that coming out of this Buffalo game that we would have a losing record, let alone 2-4.
I unfortunately kind of did.
I know you did. I know you did. You had
I don't like it.
You had us at 1-5.
Was that wrong?
Yeah, most of this season, you've been damn right.
And I don't like that. And the one thing I don't like is people think I'm making fun of my team and wanting to lose. I don't want them to lose. It's just that I need to see it because this is getting really, really old. Like the last time the Jets made the playoffs, dude, I was still in high school. And I've been out of high school now for almost 14 years.
It's been pretty brutal, but yeah, thank you so much for being on. I appreciate it, and I appreciate all the support, and it does mean a lot to me.
You're welcome, man. Murdoch, good to see you, brother. Hope you have a good night.
Oh yeah.
Oh, hey, by the way, if you're a wrestling fan, you can check out my old matches on YouTube. I was Boulder Lane. You can find a couple of them. They're on there somewhere. Yeah.
On YouTube?
Boulder Lane?
Yep. Boulder Lane.
Were you a heel?
Check that out.
I was muscle for hire. I was a heel bodyguard. Yeah.
You look like a heel.
If do you follow NWA at all?
The old school shit, a little bit. I mean, I was a WWF guy. But,
if you look up the new stuff now, there's a guy named Wrecking Ball. He and I actually trained together, and I got matches on YouTube with him. And he's kind of a big deal in wrestling now. So I can actually say I've gone toe to toe with him.
All right.
Oh yeah.
I'll be honest, real quick, John. I want to tell you, I haven't watched wrestling in many years, but for some reason, what made me watch it? I watched the NWA Power, the one they did at the ECW Arena.
Powerhouse.
Did you see that one? I don't know what it was. The main event was EC3
I didn't, but I heard about it.
It was EC3 losing his title to like a British guy who was wearing American tights. Something to that effect. Oh no, I remember why I watched it because Blue Meanie came out, and I was like, Blue World Order, Titantron, and everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna watch this, and I ended up watching it, but I was not impressed with the wrestling quality. It was not great.
The problem with wrestling nowadays is it's so spot heavy. Let's go do 100 flips and do some cartwheels. It's like that's not wrestling. Give me a purist standpoint. Like, give me Bret Hart, give me Kurt Angle, give me Michaels. You know. Guys who could actually work. Like, I'd rather watch guys who are technical than watch a bunch of high flippy spots. Because, I mean, I'm 6'3", 300. I can do a backflip. Yippee do. So I don't care when I see a guy who's 5'8", 110 pounds who can do a backflip. It doesn't impress me.
Do you know, this is what I don't like about it is, well, being a fan since WrestleMania 1. Do you know Nick T? He's in the Jets community. He has a wrestling show Fridays at 6 p.m.
No, I can't say I do.
Him and his wife do a wrestling podcast and before SmackDown comes on. And I went on the show for a couple weeks, and I just basically told him what was going to happen at the pay-per-views, the next day, how the show was going to start. It's just like rinse and repeat. I've seen this movie 1,000 times. It's too predictable. You just know what's going to happen, you know?
Are we talking about wrestling or are we talking about the current state of the Jets?
Probably both.
Could be either one.
Yeah. The play calling and the wrestling spots, yeah. That's my biggest gripe right now is they push people that shouldn't be pushed.
Cody Rhodes.
They don't push people that they should be pushing.
Chad Gable.
I love Gable. He's great.
Dude, he's awesome. Guy's phenomenal.
He's a mini Kurt Angle because
he is Kurt Angle.
Olympic wrestler, and he's so funny.
He's got all the personality traits. He can do everything. He's just he's Kurt Angle light. If you want to put him,
he's Kurt Angle light, exactly, because he's not as big as Kurt. So they'd probably push him harder if he was a little bit bigger.
Oh yeah,
a little bit bigger.
Oh yeah,
he's great to watch.
Well, hey, Murdog, nice to officially meet you, Mike. As usual, it's always good to see you. I'll be at the Tuesday show. I won't be at the Saturday one. I'll be in the facilities.
All right, we'll have a good one. We'll see you next
tomorrow night, Johnny.
I will not be your Saturday, Murdog. I'll be Tuesday. I'll be here Tuesday.
Tomorrow night for the game. I'll be live streaming.
What's your channel?
The Jet Stream.
I'll check it out, man. You got my word.
The _ Jet Stream.
I got it. I'll check it out. You got my word on that one.
All right, brother. Thank you.
All right, Mike. I'm heading back to YouTube to watch the rest of the show. Have a good night.
Thank you. All right, Murdog. We were talking about it earlier with Maddie. What is your thoughts on the whole Fireman Ed situation and the Jets chant and all that?
I made a joke to Infrared that me and Fireman Ed have a lot in common now. We're both firemen and we're both being shunned. So, but I watched One Jets Drive this morning, and maybe it was 2 episodes. It was 2 episodes ago, maybe 1 or 2. But I was catching up on the ones I missed, and I saw in the background on the big scoreboard they showed Ed leading the Jets chant on the big board. So I was like, how is he being phased out if they're literally putting him on the board this year? You know what I mean?
Well, that's what I'm saying. From what I'm hearing in the stadium is like that usually they'll put him or Jetman or whatever on the big screen on a kickoff after a touchdown and then during the defense for a defensive chant. Like those are the 3 main times that you'd bring these guys on to pump up all 80,000 people. Sure. And I was not in the stadium, but from what I'm hearing from people in the stadium is it's a lot less often, and it seems like they're more interested in turning the lights down and, having the bracelets flash and blasting music and all this other stuff. Whereas with the Jets, it's like, we need the Jets chant. Like that is something we need. And like I said, I don't care if you want to phase Ed out. I love Ed, by the way. And I want to point out that he is a childhood memory of mine in the late 80s into the 90s of like watching him lead Jets chant. So I'd like him to stay forever. But it doesn't matter who does it. You've got to have someone who can get not just a section, but all 80,000 people doing it at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know if it's being phased out. I mean, maybe they, like you said, they changed the production. Maybe they're getting more people involved. But unless there's something going on behind the scenes that we don't know, I'm sure he's in communication with them on some level now. Or is he just like they treat him as just a fan? How do they?
They treat him as just a fan, from what I'm to understand.
Okay, but they do put him on.
Kim says, I will say I was at the game. There was definitely less Jets chants.
Yeah. Well, Clancy also said that there was plenty.
No, he says Ben passed few home games supposedly. So I don't know. Now Scott has an idea. Get Joe Namath out there, have him do it drunk, and then you never know what you're going to get.
I want to kiss you.
Oh, Joe. I know you want to kiss us. That's fine. You want to kiss everybody, especially hot reporter ladies. I heard. Yeah. Judge is out, and now Stanton's out.
Oh, is it Stanton's out?
Yeah.
Shit, I was 30 seconds behind. Stanton's still up on my TV.
No,
5 behind.
No, he's out. Yankees are down to their last batter in the top of the 9th.
Yeah, but it's still 2-2.
Yes, it is still 2-2. But unfortunately, I thought I would be able to celebrate on here. We're getting up to the 2-hour mark, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to celebrate and pop my confetti cannon. I can't sit here while they go to 15 innings or whatever. Like, God damn it.
Let me see if
all right, all my Yankee fans that are in here, come on, let's get some Yankee support in the chat. Let's start getting some good luck in here for the Yankees. There's a mound visit going on right now, as far as I know. Oh, we got a man on first. Man on first, Cabrera up, mound visit before his at bat. 2 outs. That's what I got. So you're telling me, oh, wait, real quick, you're back home.
I am.
Nice. When'd you get back home?
Tuesday? Maybe?
Okay.
Tuesday night or? Oh, no, maybe Monday night.
No, John, seriously, bro, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. No, did you actually see that when they put what's his face? Excuse me, what's his face blasted that home run at the end of the game?
Which one?
For the Indians?
They hit two. At the end, you mean David Fry?
Well, they put it side by side with Pedro Serrano's from Major League.
Oh, you're talking about the John Kensey Noel guy?
Yeah,
when the ninth.
Yeah. When he hit it and then flipped the bat immediately, knew he hit the home run. Yeah. They put it side by side with the Pedro Serrano hit because they were also playing the Yankees, and it's pretty funny to watch them side by side. I saw it on Twitter or something. Somebody did it.
He almost hit another one yesterday, right on the warning track.
John, you're killing me, brother. You're killing me.
He's a Red Sox fan?
Yeah, I think he's in Connecticut.
That's worse than being a Mets fan.
Oh yeah, for me, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I'd rather cheer for the Mets or support Mets fans any day over the fucking Red Sox.
Yeah, fuck the Red Sox. Yeah,
guys, make sure. This is what I need you to do while we're here. We got a little bit of time left. Go over to the Jet stream. This is Murdog's channel. It's youtube.com/@the_Jet stream. And check it out. He goes live during the Jets games, and Infrared is always in there with him. And who else comes in there with you?
Mike Midnite. Midnight Mike.
Well, but who else? There's a bunch of people who come in with you. I can show up usually on later games, or when my kids aren't sitting there with me.
People pop in and out. People pop in and out. So I've had a random. Infrared's been there since day one. And
well, that's that.
Infrared's channel too. It's an Infrared Jets podcast. He's starting to go live now as well. He usually does recorded videos, but now he's been going live with Brother Brahma.
Yeah, Clancy, I saw it. Swings a first pitch and grounds out, shaking my head.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, I don't know what to do right now. It's like
you know why I wanted to win badly tonight is because I don't want Garrett Cole to have to. I want Garrett Cole to be able to start game 1, 4, and 7 in a World Series. I don't want to have to use him now and then have him push back to game 3 of a World Series. You know what I mean? Or then if they're like, no, we got to throw him, and now he's throwing on 3-4 days rest twice. That's what I'm trying to avoid here. So
look at this pile of suck from John Radcliffe. Red Sox, Bruins, Celtics, Jets.
How does that happen? That's like, how do you have 3 Boston teams and then a random Jets football team?
Yeah. I mean, hey, at least you got it right on one. That's fair. I'll give them that. The Jets are great, but God, the fucking Celtics,
yeah, but the other 3,
the Bruins, get the fuck out of here.
Clancy, I want him to pitch 3 times potentially in the World Series, not just 2.
I'll tell you what, though. John has a lot of championships running with those Red Sox, Bruins, and Celtics.
Yeah. So you're saying he's a front runner?
He's a Jets fan. How can I say that?
I know. I mean, if it was the Patriots, he would have had 6 titles?
I'll tell you what, it does blow my mind when people are fans of a team that's not their home team. And I was actually talking to one of my coworkers, and I've gone in, I've seen my kids and other my going into schools and stuff. When I was in school, everyone was wearing Yankees or Mets. Everyone was wearing Devils, Rangers, Islanders. There's very few Islanders in Jersey, but there was Brian Hoyler, rest in peace. Bill Hoyler. I will never forget. He was the Islanders fan in my school. And he stood there and took so much shit from all the Devils and Rangers fans. And I will always remember that Bill was that Islanders fan. But Jets, Giants, Knicks Nets. That's what it was. Now you go into schools and you won't find a kid with the same jersey.
I know.
They're all wearing different jerseys. And my coworker, he was like, yeah, he was like, you know what it is? He's like, today fantasy and like Madden and like that stuff is so popular that kids end up loving players and not their local home team. They like who they play in Madden or who they play in fantasy and things like that. And that's why you don't have true like home team like fans in the actual market. I mean, I don't know how you feel about that, but I mean,
I think you're right.
Different nowadays.
I think that's definitely give that credence. What the video games probably helps them, but I guess the times are changing, probably not for the better. Like with that, I mean, along with the teams of being fans of other not your hometown teams, now you got more than two genders and tampons in boys' bathrooms. Like shit's just going bananas. Like root for your home team, stay in your own bathrooms.
Yeah. And they go together. It's like stay in your own, boys and girls in their own bathrooms. Also, root for your own team. Root for your home team, and that's where we should stick. But it just blows my mind. Well, and that's another thing is because my wife was I forget what I said to her or something. I was like, but when I was growing up, they didn't have Sunday night football. And she's like, what do you mean they didn't have Sunday night football? I was like, when I was a kid, it was you had the 1 o'clock game and the 4 o'clock game. And then you had Monday Night Football because after the 4 o'clock game, like I would be at my dad's over the weekend or into into Sunday night, and then he would drop me off, or if I stayed with him, whatever. But I always remember Sunday night I'd watch The Simpsons, Married with Children. Do you remember Get a Life with Chris Elliott, where he was the paper boy and he lived above his parents' garage? I'd watch all those shows at night because there wasn't football on.
It was on
Sunday nights. Yeah, and she's like, well, how much is there now? I go, oh, well, there's Thursday night. There's the international game at 9. Then there's the 1 o'clock, the 4 o'clock, Sunday night football, and then Monday night football.
Right.
It's on all week at this point. Like when will we have Wednesday night football?
And you also got like the Sunday ticket to where you can watch any game you want. We were locked into whatever the networks gave us. We didn't have choices.
Yeah.
Now you can pay other streaming services and go watch any team you want. Just but you have to pay for it. No.
Which I still think, I don't know.
Mom says it'll come back.
Love it. What'd you say?
John wrote that he'll come back on and tell you how he came to his 3/4 Red Sox Boston fandom.
I don't question it. I think I know. He grew up in Connecticut, and in Connecticut. So when I grew, like I told you, when I grew up in Jersey,
Indiana.
Oh, he grew up in Indiana.
He grew up in Indiana. Don't root for any Indiana teams.
That's weird, because Connecticut is a conundrum to me.
Yeah,
because like I said to you, when I was growing up, right outside the city, it was Jets, Giants, Yankees, Mets, Knicks, Nets, Devils, Rangers. Really, when you go to Connecticut, you take all those teams and the Islanders, and then you add in all the Boston teams.
Right. The further north you go in Connecticut.
Oh, yeah. Well, where I am and closer to like Stamford and New Haven, you get more New York.
I lived in New Haven and West Haven for a couple of years. I played baseball there. It was like probably leaning more New England teams, but you still had your New York City teams. But the further down, it was mostly a New York team. So it was almost like the line, the Mason-Dixon line of fandom was right around there.
All right, real quick before we call it a show, guys, please hit the thumbs up. We're trying to break the thumbs up record tonight. Whether you're watching on the replay or whether you're watching live, we had over our thumbs up like record in here live at one time. So we're trying to get over 65. If all of you go in, hit that thumbs up, we should be able to hit that tonight and break a new record for a live show on the Midnight Mike Show. But also, guys, let's hit some super chats. Let's give some channel memberships. Let's end the night out on a bang. Let's rally on that one. But anyway, before we go out, what I want to do is I want to look at this schedule and find out where the fuck we can get some wins left to make the playoffs. So here's the New York Jets schedule. Let's take a look at it. Obviously, those first 6 at the top are done. We now have the Steelers, the Patriots, the Texans, the Cardinals, the Colts, the Seahawks, 2 Dolphins games, the Rams, the Jaguars, and another game versus the Bills. We have 2 wins right now. We're going to need at least 10.
I see 6 more wins just right now.
But that only brings us to 8.
Right. And no, right now, I mean, that we should definitely have, and then we could probably swing at least 1 or 2 more. I'm looking at gimmies, which is kind of weird to say because
give me your gimme.
Broncos game should have been a gimme, right? So
correct.
Okay, so I'm looking at, I think we should beat the Steelers, but I wasn't counting that. I'm counting New England. I'm counting Arizona.
Okay.
Possibly Seattle, Miami twice, and Jaguars.
Okay, and then where do the other 2 come from? Because I'm in agree. I do not. I just don't buy the 2. Why would Tua come back? Look, even Dolphins fans that I watch are being like, this guy he has children. Like, and I know that sounds like lame. Like, hey, he has children. He has a wife. He has a family. But seriously, if you say he should come back, have you ever really dealt with a person who has some sort of mental decline, such as a what did Metz say his dad had?
Alzheimer's?
Yeah, Alzheimer's, something that deteriorates your mind. It's not pretty, and the people who suffer the most are the children. So it's like I have a hard time believing that Tua is coming back. So I will give the Jets those 2 wins. If he comes back, that could potentially be a split.
Could be. Yeah, it could be, but they also lost a lot too. In the offseason. They didn't really bring in much, to my knowledge, of improvements. I think they just lost. Like, they lost Robert Hunt in free agency off that line. They're just not as dangerous as they were.
So you weren't giving them Pittsburgh. You gave them New England.
I wasn't giving them Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Okay, so New England, Arizona,
right.
Dolphins twice, Jaguars,
right.
And who else?
And I think, well, I don't see why we can't beat the Colts or the Seahawks, at least 1 of the 2, if not both.
Okay. I'd also add in the Rams.
I'd add in the Rams too, but if they get Cooper Kupp back and if Higbee's back, and I don't know if Puka's out for the year, but if they get healthy and we, Kyron Williams, because our biggest problem right now is I don't care. I love that we got Devontae. I love it. I love that we have 2 running backs, but if we can't stop the run, we're not doing anything.
Yeah.
That's really it. We got holding penalties. How many touchdowns have we scored that got called back by penalties? It's ridiculous.
Well, the thing we got to remember is we sit here and we blame the Jets and we say, oh, they lost they lost the Broncos, Vikings, and Bills game. They had the chance to win all of them in the final drive, and that's pathetic. But we also have to look at that as they had the chance to win, and how would they have won? With their offense, okay? And our offense just added Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
So now all of those games with Devontae Adams, do we win 2 of those 3?
Yeah, because you're not getting drop passes on first downs.
So I know John. So I know John is probably sitting in the. I'm not in the comments right now. He's probably being. Oh no, we're gonna lose out. And I know that's how he rolls. But when you actually look at this with Devontae Adams, look at those games we could have won and say, well, we were there. We could have won. So look at that in the positive sense. And you're right. We should beat Pittsburgh. New England should be a gimme. We're not beating the Texans. That and that pisses me off a lot because Halloween is my fucking holiday, and I have to come home from trick-or-treating, and instead of watching Halloween 1, 2, and 3, I have to fucking watch the Jets get slaughtered by the Strouds.
Well, let's take a silver lining from that game, though, right? Nico Collins is out for a long time, right?
I don't know how long, but he's out.
He's on IR, so I don't know if.
I think that's a 4-week thing.
I don't know. Well, that's initial, and then you have a 30-day window to bring him back to practice before that you could bring him back. He might not be ready for that game. Now, also keep in mind that last year CJ Stroud was killing it as a rookie, and we shut him the fuck down. Like he was
You're
like
right
a
about
backup
that.
quarterback against us. So maybe sometimes we got people's numbers like they have ours, and maybe Stroud just doesn't do good against our defense. But he was great last year, but he wasn't against us. We beat him up last year. So it's not on paper, yes, they probably should beat us, but I'm not just going to chalk that up as a loss. If we can control their quarterback, I'm not really too worried about Mixon. But then again, we got destroyed by Jordan Mason without McCaffrey, and we got beat up by the Bills running backs without James Cook. So we're getting beat up by backups anyway. So it's that line. If we could shore up that defensive run defense and our offensive line plays better, we're beating a lot of these teams because we have weapons and we have the quarterback to do it.
Let's hope so, because like I said, I'm pessimistic about this game against the Steelers, but I'm only doing it because I've been positive the entire season and it hasn't done me any good. So let's be a little pessimistic and see if that changes the luck for the Jets. But we do have a team that the last 3 games all had the chance to win in that. And now once again, that throw to Mike Williams where he didn't run his right route and then couldn't get to the ball and got intercepted. If that's Devontae, is it caught?
Yeah. Or even if it's Garrett, because this is where it opens up the offense.
Yeah.
Devontae is probably going to, maybe in a week or 2, he'll be the number 1. I still think Garrett's going to get peppered for also political reasons, because I think Aaron's going to want to make sure Garrett doesn't feel like he's an afterthought now because Devontae's here. So I think he's going to throw him a lot of balls just because. So now when you have 2 number 1 wide receivers, that makes Lazard even a little bit better. That makes the running game better because you're not going to be able to bracket or double team the wide receivers. You got people to worry about. It's just going to open up stuff. You can't stack the box against us because of the outside threats. Our offense is just going to be better organically with the addition of Devontae Adams. It's just like tomorrow. The only person I'm concerned about is TJ Watt. So if he's coming off whatever edge, I still want a tackle trying to handle him and him getting chipped by a running back. I don't want one-on-ones with TJ Watt with any of our tackles. I want a double team on him. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. Get as many people to block him as possible. Whether it's running back, a tight end, or whatever, plus your lineman, just worry about making sure that he doesn't get to Aaron Rodgers, and we should be doing pretty well. Guillermo, handyman to the stars, says you two should be wearing green paper bags on your heads. Let me tell you something, Guillermo. The Jets may suck, and the Jets may have sucked my entire life pretty much, but I am a proud New York Jets fan, and I will never be one of those fans that shows up with a paper bag on their head. As much they could, I was there wearing a Jets hat and a Jets jersey in 1995 and 1996 when they went 3-13 and 1-15, and I was proud to be a New York Jets fan. So you're not going to find that here. But I appreciate the comment, and I appreciate
he's a handyman, so he's out giving handies to everyone.
Yeah, I think that's what he said. Yeah, I think he goes to like Diddy parties.
A handyman.
And just
he probably built up some calluses.
Oh yeah. You do that when you work hard with your hands. You get the calluses. And all
way to serve the community, Guillermo.
Yeah. To be fair, he probably does use a lot of lotion and lubrication, so that would keep his skin soft.
So at least his hands smell good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. I mean, at least not right after but on a normal day.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, Guillermo, let us know. Are your hands soft or callous from the handyman job? You just need to know that kind of thing. Once again, here we are in the top of the 10th, and I know we had a runner on the last time I checked. We have 2 runners on.
They've just botched the double play, an inning and the double play. So now we instead of being out of the inning, we have first and second, 1 out.
And the Yankees put in a pinch runner.
Jason Dominguez.
Yeah. All right, what I'm going to do is if the Yankees score in this inning, I will stay on the air. I will stay on the air to see if we win this championship and can celebrate together.
That confetti has to go.
But if it not, I mean, once again, I was saving this for the Jets. I was saving this for the Jets, but honestly, I'll be honest. I thought the Yankees were going to Yankee, get into the playoffs, and blow it. And here they are, 1 win away from the World Series, something I haven't seen since 2009. And I feel like that's a reason to blow this confetti cannon. Like the handyman blows things, like Guillermo blows things, but I won't, this will be a different kind of blow.
Well, that's when he gets a promotion.
Oh, yeah.
Handyman to like the throat goat.
All right, let's go through, guys. Thank you so much. I see Kim still in here. Infrared, thank you so much for being in here. I assume you'll still you'll be on the Jet stream with Murdog. Clancy's still in here. Channel member Wild Wave. Hey, he doesn't have a channel membership. What is going on? A lot of these guys. Let's see what he said here. Guillermo says, who is starting tomorrow? Ken O'Brien or Neil O'Donnell? Hey, motherfucker. Let me explain something. Ken O'Brien is one of the most underrated quarterbacks that ever existed, and I would be glad to have Ken O'Brien back any day. Any day. I think you meant that as a joke, but I'm a Ken O'Brien like supporter over here. Supporter. Now Neil O'Donnell was a complete failure, so I can't argue with on that one. According to Bleacher Report, multiple teams have reached out to the Jets about Wilson. They're not getting rid of Garrett Wilson.
No, they're not.
That would be
makes no sense.
He's literally a two-time All-Pro at his position in 2 years being in the league. And if he continues getting 100-yard games like he did the last 2 weeks, he's going to get it again. So I think that's that's ridiculous. I don't know what you're agreeing with Kim about Kim O'Brien or. It sucks that because I'm in my studio. Oh, good. Glaber strikes out swinging. Awesome.
He checked that swing. I think his reaction to it allowed the ref to call him out. I mean, the umpire to call him out. But on the replay, he didn't break the plane. But whatever. Soto's up with 2 outs.
When do the Jets don't things that make sense? John, you're going to have to rewrite that one, buddy. When do the Jets don't things that make sense? When do the Jets do things that make sense is probably what you meant to write. I don't know. Why is he booing? What did I miss? Come on, Soto.
Just a basic. Get a run on the board. Oof.
And they don't. First off, I hate the fucking ghost runners. I know they don't do those in the postseason, but like that has got to end. Like that I hate that shit.
Because it's all about trying to make sure that a team scores a run to get the game over with. It's all about clock time. It's all
it's like then why don't you just give them both give them a run? It's just so stupid.
Yeah, I agree. I don't like the ghost runner.
How do you feel about National League not having pitchers bat anymore?
Hitting? You mean permanent DH? I like it.
Yeah,
because you had your rare Madison Baumgartner who could hit major league pitching. Or Ohtani. You have your rare pitchers. Otherwise, it was an automatic out. It was stupid. So I'm a fan of the universal DH.
Yeah. I am too. And it may be because I was brought up an American League fan, but it's it just seemed so stupid to have your number 9 batter basically be a nothing.
Yeah, because then, also think about what it does to your roster. You got to do the double switch. You got to take out the pitcher. You know what I mean? You take out the pitcher for a pinch hitter, but he's not good on defense. So now you have to have a bench player come in. You move him from 1 and 9 in the order to 4th. It's just too much nonsense. And just it's a reason why Americans hate soccer. Is because it's so boring. Like a 1-0 game is a shootout in soccer. You want as much offense as you can get. And
we got a ball in play.
Well, I got a foul ball on my screen.
Next one is going to be a ball in play, but it doesn't tell me on this stupid thing what happened.
Oh, you got a game cast on?
Juan Soto homers.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yes, fuck yeah, baby. Are you watching it?
No. It's coming on now. But I'm just going.
Okay,
There's a drive.
To it. React to it.
Get the fuck out of
Yeah.
Oh, fucking yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's 3 runs.
Brother, yeah.
That is 3 fucking runs. Here we go, baby. Here we go. All right, we're changing the background for the rest of this show. Here we go. Here we go. It's about to happen, folks. It is about to fucking happen.
Mike,
Guys,
is it against
is in the comments section, I hope.
Mike, is it against YouTube's terms of service to ejaculate on screen?
You can do it, but not on screen. So, like, if you did it
Not
below,
on-
like down here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Here you guys come. Here you guys come. Let's watch it together, folks. First time since 2009. It is about to fucking happen.
Fucking Judge, let's go.
Here we go. Here we go. Boy, am I glad that I put that on here. I'm sorry that I blew it for you.
Hey, it was good news, so I'm okay with it. It's like with infrared.
Hey, whoa, Stack, I haven't seen you, man. Where have you? I feel like I missed you. Like, have you been in here the whole time? Usually you're the first person in, and I'm always like, oh, Stack. And so when you're not in the first like 3 comments when I start a show, I get worried. I'm like, where the fuck is Stack? Like, what is Stack doing? By the way, Stack, guys, I failed so hard on sending out the stickers. I promise they'll be sent out this week. I had them in the car. I didn't have stamps on them. Then I forgot to get. It's a whole thing. It's a whole fucking thing. I'm sorry. It'll happen. Even my wife needs stamps, so she's like forcing me, and it's like it is what it is. But Fred comes in and says Soto has Puerto Rican in him. Well, there you go. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe you need to be part of an island that's not a state but still part of the United States to get that ball out of the park, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Oh God.
Are you guys in some basement in Lyndhurst? No, Guillermo, I'm at my house on the Long Island Sound, and Murdog's in Florida, and it looks like his house survived the hurricanes.
It did.
So that's a good thing.
We were initially in the way of the storm, I think, and then it shifted a little bit further down. So we had some trees get knocked out, knocked out of the roots, but structurally, most of the houses, maybe some shingles here and there, but overall, we got spared.
Aaron Judge strikes out swinging. Like, Aaron Judge, man, I don't know what the fuck is with him in the playoffs.
Well, he has hit 2 big home runs.
No, he did, but where was he the rest of the time? Like, other than that, he's just striking out. Like, I'm sorry. It's like, yeah, you can. I mean, look, I'm happy he hit the home runs, no doubt.
Clutch one.
Yeah, but his history in the playoffs is not good, and this postseason, he's hit the few clutch, but it's most of the time he's still judging it.
Well, then you also ask yourself the same thing, like why do we get postseason Stanton and then regular season Stanton who can't stay healthy and shits the bed hitting 215, 220 with 30 homers? Like, that was a 58 homer, 59 homer guy in with the Marlins, MVP. Why is Stanton a Hall of Famer in the postseason, but not in the regular season anymore? And Judge is a Hall of Famer in the regular season and, mediocre in the postseason. Kim, hopefully you see you tomorrow.
Good night, Kim. It was great having you in here. I hope your party enjoyed the Mike and Maddie's top 5. I'm glad you guys had some good conversations about that. Stack is in here, and he says, I've been here. You were late, both of you. Stack, thank you, man. Thank you for being in here. I really do appreciate that. Mike, don't go by narratives. Judge has 14 postseason home runs. It's not narratives. It's with my eyes. I've watched it. I feel like I'm constantly watching this guy strike out. And it's just, I don't know. It is what it is. What's his batting average in the playoffs, or what's his on-base percentage?
Well, that's what I go with. Like Clancy made his next comment is about, no one cares about average. I'm more of an on-base percentage guy than batting average guy.
I'm going to know both. That's what
yeah.
As
long as you're getting on base, I'm okay. If you're hitting 220, but you have a 410 on base percentage, that just means, you're getting on base. Okay. But if both are subpar, then that's a problem.
All right. Well, here we are. We're getting into the bottom of the 11th, bottom of 10th. Sorry. Oh, okay.
When everybody in the chat subscribe to my channel and join us tomorrow for the live stream. Is that what I heard?
That's what everyone should be doing.
Oh.
And it's right there on the screen. You type in Murdog the Jets stream on YouTube and you'll find it. But it's youtube.com/@the_Jets stream.
Yeah.
And we're about to sit here and watch the Yankees get into their first World Series since 2009. Like I wish I could fucking have a drink.
Go ahead.
What's
giving me a little bit of hope is all these late inning, big spot, clutch home runs that we've been hitting, whether it was a Judge, a Stanton, or a Soto, is they're coming off really good relievers that have been solid all year, solid in the postseason. These are Cleveland has 4 relievers that they rely on, and we've beat them all up. We beat up Class A a few times. Gaddis that's the second time we got Gaddis. Yeah, maybe we didn't get the Herald.
Hell yeah, this is what I like to see. You get the Jets chant. Jets. Mac Muffin is a new channel member. I appreciate that, Mac Muffin. Hey, man, look, check it out. There's a bunch of stuff. I want to let you know that every other week I do a show on this channel with Tommy Jets, and it's before my Tuesday night show at 10 p.m. We'd come on around 9:15 and go for about a half hour, and that is a members only show. Only members can comment. Only members will get it. A lot of my shows will go behind the members only paywall after they're live. My Tuesday night show also does the same. And you'll find now that you're a channel member, you can go back. You could actually see me burn my jersey. I have a Sam Darnold Jets jersey, and it wasn't about Sam. I like Sam, but it was about those disgusting jerseys from the last 5 years that just brought us so much grief. And I believe our overall record was like 26-57 in those jerseys. That is up there for channel members. And yeah, and sometimes I just do random pop-up streams where I'll talk about movies or I'll talk about whatever. And in these upcoming weeks, I have the entire week of Halloween off. I want to come on and do watch-alongs where we'll watch like Friday the 13th, or we'll watch, some horror movies. And if you guys are willing to come in and join me and watch those with me, chances are they will go behind the paywall when they're done being live. But anyone who's a channel member can always go back and watch them on their own time. So I am doing a lot of that stuff. So I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. And thank you so much.
One thing I think everyone in here, if you guys don't know, some of the best stuff you'll see is when Mike does his post-game rants. Usually after
the reaction videos.
Those are gold. I mean, someone who like me appreciates comedy and stuff, even though he's being dead serious, I'm just dying laughing because it's so good.
I'm telling you right now, after the Bills game, that reaction video, that was the first reaction video where I thought that I might have a health issue. Like, I'm not even joking. I thought I was something was gonna go wrong with my heart because at one point I couldn't catch my breath the right way, and I'm gonna die and I won't even be able to upload this because those I record them, I put in the graphics, then I put it out, so it's not live. But I'm telling you, when I do those videos, folks, I literally, the second the Jets game is over, I come into the studio, I hit record, I do 5 to 10 minutes somewhere in there, and then I edit in, the logos and my name and all that stuff, and then it goes out on YouTube. So it's usually out about a half hour after the game. But I'll tell you, Murdog, I really, it was dicey after the Bills game because I was sick too. I was sick.
And you were aggravated. Being sick just multiplied it. So I was like, I think you should get the floor and park and have to dress down the players.
Oh, yeah. Woody needs to hire me. Oh, shit. There's 2 outs.
2 outs, yeah.
God damn. I want to. God damn. Oh, I was going to have you hold the show while I went and got a drink because I don't have a drink. But now with 2 outs and 2 strikes now, a defensive indifference. What the fuck does that mean?
That's a stolen base. He stole second base probably, and nobody attempted to throw him out. That's what defensive indifference means. That means the guy doesn't get credit for a stolen base. Damn, you might be 2 pitches ahead of me then. Yeah. See, he's not getting held on. He's just eliminating the force.
I have end 10 on my scorecard. Is that it, folks? Is that it?
It has to be.
Ladies and gentlemen, the New York Yankees. Congrats on the sex. What does that mean? Holy crap. All right, hold on. Stay right there.
I got to listen to this louder. Pop up right field. Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. The New York Yankees are your American League champions, headed to the World Series for the first time since 2009, and I am going to regret this. What the hell? Here we go. Yahoo!
Start spreading the news.
I am so pumped up, ladies and gentlemen. All right, now we can breathe a sigh of relief because the New York Yankees are where they are supposed to be. It's where we thought they'd be at the beginning of the season. And Murdog, it is official. We're in the World Series again, where we belong.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. I am so happy. Jesus Christ.
Who gets ALCS MVP, Soto or Stanton?
That's a tough one. All right, you know what? I'm going to bring this down. I'm going to do my best to not get a what is it, copyright infringement. But I am willing.
You got to start spreading the news?
I'm working on it.
Maybe we could bring like 10 people into the chat and we'll sing it together to avoid a copyright infringement. We finally got some good news. Wow.
We are going to do our best. We are going to do our best. Because the thing is, Murdog, usually you can get away with it if you talk over it. If you talk over it enough, you could do it. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Before we end out our show tonight. Hold on. Your 2024 American League champions are the New York Yankees, where they're supposed to be. And I want everybody to start spreading the news, especially up in Boston. Let's let everyone in Boston know that the New York Yankees are goddamn back.
There you go, John Ratcliffe.
Oh, my God. I'm so happy.
And we saved Garrett Cole for game 1.
Thank you, everybody in the chat. We appreciate it. I hope you're all enjoying this. And once again, the reason I'm talking is because if I don't, there's a good chance that I get copyright struck on this. So, wow, I am so freaking happy. Like, I did expect it, but I expected the Yankees to pull what they have. I can't wait. Now I can't wait to get off of here and go watch the game, like watch the last few innings. My mother has been a diehard Yankees fan since 1968. Time to call her and congratulate her. Have a kick-ass night, brothers. Stay fly, everybody. I got a jet. Yeah, thank you, Infrared. I appreciate it. I go back to old Donnie Baseball, Don Mattingly, Ricky Henderson, Dave Winfield, that whole Yankee team. Yeah, and wow. It's up to you, New York, New York. And this is the last Yankee jersey I bought, by the way, and it barely fits me anymore because I've gotten fat. But I won't get any of the new ones with the Nike logo. I refuse. So this is my most recent look. Whoop.
Oh, wow. Is that the old stadium?
Yeah, that's the last. I got this the last year they were in the old stadium of Yankee Stadium.
2008?
Yeah, 2008 or 2009.
They
2008, yeah.
They won in the first year of their new stadium in 09.
Yes, they did. Yes, you are right. There you go. Wow. All right, Murdoch. Wow, what a great ending to the show. We held in there into the extra innings.
It was worth it, Mike.
Yeah, it was worth it. And I'm just thrilled. And I'm glad we got to end the show out this way.
And now you could just scoop up the confetti with a dustpan, put it back in the thing, and just get a little.
I don't think that works that way. I'm gonna have to go get more of these things. Well, please. Well, I guess I have to get one for them winning the World Series.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't think I'm gonna need any for the Jets this year.
Well, don't jinx it. Get them.
All right, fair. That's fair. I won't jinx it. I'll have them ready to go.
Have it available, because imagine you were sitting there thinking we lost because I didn't hit the confetti.
Well, there it is, folks. The New York Yankees win. After all that, honestly, I swear, Murdoch, I thought that halfway through this stream, that it was like right around the intermission report, I thought that the game was going to be over by then.
Oh.
Like, I thought we would come out of the intermission report and the Yankees would win the game, somewhere around coming out of the intermission report.
Yeah, but as Yankee fans, nothing ever happens without a near heart attack. So
yeah,
you almost have to prepare.
I'm telling you, dude, this confetti is everywhere.
I was losing my shit in the first inning. Did you see the first inning?
What?
Did you see the first inning?
No, I did not. Dude, I was late to the show. I was having trouble with everything tonight.
First inning, you're gonna lose your shit because they're just like bad omen. Like dark clouds started coming in. We had a guy on first, and Soto doubled into the gap, and they sent Glaber from all the way from first, and the third base coach sent them, and you could see how he was like laboring around the base paths, and he got thrown out at the plate. Instead of having second and third, nobody out with Judge and Stanton coming up, he got thrown out at the plate.
All right, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to show you guys what happened here. Okay. Whoop. Wait.
Oh, wow.
I should be muted. I don't know why it's coming out double like that.
You got a ball cam?
Well, why is it? I'm turning down my volume. Why is it coming out here? Can you hear that?
Yeah, but just mute your mic on the other video, because we'll still be able to hear you on the original one.
I muted this. I don't know what the hell's going on. Whatever. Let's do this real quick. I want to show you guys what this confetti did. Okay? So it's all over. Whoop.
Now betting number 2. Wow. It's all over the place. It was worth it. Oh, how are you going to get all that up? That's a great little setup, Mike. That's a great